Doge stimulus. You like that one? It's probably my worst and my best video ever. All right. Yeah. A lot of Trump-Russia stuff tonight, man. A lot of Trump-Russia. First stream in a while. You mean 2 days? 1 day. Oh, so. Well, they don't like the trans stuff, so people don't care about that. I know Doge released a bunch of reports on Social Security today, and it was all fraudulent and fake. Okay, Sean Hannity, Trump, Musk. This is crazy. Oh, man. The way they phrase this is... Ew. Is that lime? I don't know. Don't ask me. Let's go. Someone said taxation is theft. They're stupid.
I gotta start.
Nice idiot. Stupid. Idiot. Stupid idiot. Stupid idiot. Taxation is theft, bro. Okay. New interview tonight. Trump and Musk pull curtain back on relationship. Media's divide and conquer mission. Oh,
I gotta
man.
start with this. So he's working for free with Doge. He's
working for
kind
free,
of put
bro.
A lot of his life on hold. And
Bro, the victim complex right off the bat. I just started streaming. Okay, right off the bat, the beginning. The victim complex to begin. He's working so hard for free, putting his life on hold. Bro, he's running like 10 corporations, tweeting 300 times a day, and stealing Americans' private information. Okay? Stealing America's private information. He's making money off this. He's making billions of dollars off of taxpayers in government contracts. He got rich off of government contracts. The victim complex already.
And you sued Twitter a number of years ago. You just made him pay you $10 million?
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Well, I sued from long before he had it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really did a number on me, you know. And I sued, and they had to pay. They paid.
Bro, for real? More crying? More victim. More victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim.
Pay $10 million settlement.
Woe is me.
You're okay with that?
I mean, I left it up to the lawyers and you know the team running Twitter. So I said, you guys do what you think is the right. It makes sense.
I think it's fine.
I think it's a very low. I was looking to get much more money than that.
So you gave him a discount when the lawsuit.
He got he got a big discount. I don't think he even knows about it.
He's become one of your, if you read and believe the media, he's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the president. I just want to be clear about that.
You don't care about that.
I know. I love the president.
You love the president.
I think President Trump is a good man, and he's.
I love the president. I want to make it clear. I love him. I adore him. I worship him. I worship the president. Okay, so victimhood, sucking. I'm not gonna say what kind of victimhood and Trump sexuality. Okay, that's all we have so far.
It's nice the way he said that. You know, there's something nice about it.
It really is. You know.
All you got to do is flatter the guy. Just call him beautiful. He'll let you just screw over the entire world, basically. And Donald Trump, he's really a friend of freedom, taking Russia's side over Ukraine and Europe, giving Russia whatever they want. Man, this is a crazy time.
Because, I mean, the president's been so unfairly attacked in the media. It's really outrageous.
Bro. How much crying can some of the richest and most powerful men in human history do? How much crying can you possibly do?
And I've at this point spent a lot of time with the president, and not once have I seen him do something that was mean or cruel or wrong. Not once.
He's just a perfect little baby. Aw, he's so nice. He's such a little, he's a perfect little baby. Stop being emotional. Get to the details. Holy crap.
I've known him for 30 years.
Is this a soap opera?
I've never seen anybody
known him for 30
take
years.
as much as he's taken.
Yeah.
I've never
And
seen
we've
anybody.
discussed this.
Dude, this is what happens in dictatorships. All you guys are gay. You're gay. I've never seen Trump take so much. I've never seen a man take so much. I'm sorry. As a strong ally of the LGBTQA plus community, this is so gay, bro. What am I watching?
And I'm like, how do you deal with it?
Did I have a choice?
How do you deal with
you
it?
would say that to
How
me.
do you
I'm
do
like,
it,
what
sir?
That's the
What am I
only
going to
thing I
do?
can
Worry
say.
about it? And, and then culminating in 2 assassination attempts, which resulted in your endorsement.
Well, I was going to do it anyway, but that was
it.
precipitating event. Yes.
That speeded it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The day of the
I
assassination.
didn't know that.
Yeah. I sped it up, but I was going to do it anyway.
Mr. President, with your indulgence,
Bro, I feel like I'm watching Love is Blind when they do like a 6-month review of the couples after the reality TV show's over, or like The Bachelor. Revisiting The Bachelor. How are you guys doing? Dude, oh my God.
I'm convinced that people only know a little bit about Elon. I don't think they know.
Bro, now they're going into relationship questions, bro. This is I'm telling you, this is reality TV show. Bachelor, Bachelorette, 6 months after. Tell us about each other. Literally the title too. Trump and Musk pull curtain back on relationship. The media is trying to separate us, but our love will prevail. The media might want to separate us, but our love's going to prevail, guys.
know everything about Elon, because as I studied and prepared for this interview, I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. I think people will think about Tesla. Democrats are demonizing you and trying to make the country hate you.
They're being
I just
demonized.
want people to
Everyone
understand
hates
you a
us.
little bit
Everyone's
better,
against
and
us.
the person that you've gotten to know and have now put a lot of trust in.
Sure.
And, just let's go over a little bit of your bio, starting with PayPal and how you became involved in Tesla and SpaceX and Neuralink and all
Take
these.
a while. I mean, I think the way you think of me is like I'm a technologist, and I try to make technologies that improve the world. And
He's an investor. Okay. Look up Elon Musk technological investments, okay? Or not investments, okay. Technological discoveries or inventions. Okay, look up Elon Musk. What did Elon Musk invent? Let's see. What did Elon Musk invent? I'll get back to you.
and make life
Show
better.
your shirt.
Yeah, and that's
Oh. Wow. Elon Musk has not invented anything. Elon Musk is an investor and an entrepreneur and a venture capitalist and a visionary. Wow. He has not made literally anything. He has paid people to make things. It turns out he's not Tony Stark. He's just a rich guy who knows how to move currency around to make investments. Wow. He's a technologist, right? Wait. He just said he's
try
a...
to make
He tries to make technology. He has never made a piece of technology his entire life. He's purchased it. He's profited from people who actually do that.
I think the way you think of me is like I'm a technologist, and I try to make technologies that improve the world and make life
show
better.
your shirt.
Yeah, and that's why like my T-shirt says tech support.
Bro, it's so cringe. It's so cringe, bro. They gotta wear the outfit. They need the outfit on, bro. They need a whole costume. I'm a technologist. I invented technology, and you guys eat it up because you guys are dumb. I'm sorry. I don't usually call people dumb, but you are so pathetic, dude. Can you take a second? Take a breath. All right, your throat's clogged. All right, clear your throat and take a deep breath and think for a second. Why do I believe such bullshit? Why do I listen to this and believe every word he says?
Because I'm here to provide the president with technology support. And now that may seem like, well, is that a silly thing? But actually, it's a very important thing because the president will make these executive orders, which are very sensible and good for the country, but then they don't get implemented. So if you take for example, all the funding for the migrant hotels, the president issued an executive order where, hey, we need to stop taking taxpayer money and paying for luxury hotels for illegal immigrants. Which makes no sense. Like, so obviously, people do not want their tax dollars going to fund high-end hotels for illegals, and yet they were still doing that.
Now notice how he avoided any question about his background, okay? He avoided that he has not invented literally anything. He has given no contributions to the human race at all. At all. He has never contributed anything but having money. His only contribution is having money and owning people. He owns people who do give contributions to the world, okay? He diverts away from that to the immigration topic that he knows is going to make you guys mad. He goes away from the real facts about the world, okay, to make you guys mad. All they got to do is bring up immigration, all right? And you follow that laser pointer around the room. I could have you doing tricks on it. I mean, I could have you doing tricks around the room with a laser pointer. You're so easily distracted by the stuff that makes you mad. Your critical thinking ability just shuts off completely. It's so pathetic.
Even as late as last week. And so, you know, we went in there and we're like, this is in violation of the presidential executive order. It needs to stop. So what we're doing here is one of the biggest functions of the Doge team is just making sure that the presidential executive orders are actually carried out. And this is...
So now the Doge team is making sure executive orders are carried out. And they went from advisory to unilaterally shutting down departments and firing people, to leaking sensitive security information about the U.S., to apparently now carrying out executive orders and making sure they're carried out. Wow, dude, Doge has transformed many times, and they have done nothing so far except talk. Just a lot of talk, a lot of branding.
I just want to point out, this is a very important thing because the president is the elected representative of the people. So he's representing the will of the people. And if the bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people and preventing the president from implementing what the people want, then what we live in is a bureaucracy and not a democracy.
No.
Bro, this is why they pay Joe Rogan to say this dumb shit. He sounds like such an idiot. Holy crap, bro. He sounds like such an idiot, bro. He never read the Constitution. He has no idea how government works or anything works, bro. I mean, he probably does know, but he's so bad at lying. This is so sad and pathetic. Like, what the hell did he just say? Let's rewind that back. Let's go back and see what he just said about democracy and about our elected representatives, okay? Let's compare this to what our founding fathers actually said about America, okay?
People. So it's representing the will of the people.
By the way, if you're watching on TikTok, drop a bunch of likes. Make sure you spam that like button to get this stream shared everywhere. I do progressive commentary. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like the YouTube short. My biggest channels on YouTube Shorts. We're going to go through this entire Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Sean Hannity interview. And then after, take some calls from Trump supporters. It's going to be a really fun time. I hope you guys stick around. Let me know if there's any audio issues, but this is going to be really fantastically stupid. And it's...
And if the bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people, and preventing the president.
Okay, one second. Okay, let's take it all in. Let's take it in.
The elected representative of the people.
A little bit more.
That the presidential executive orders are actually, one of the biggest functions of the Doge team is just making sure that the presidential executive orders are actually carried out. And this is, I just want to point out, this is a very important thing because the president is the elected representative of the people. So he's representing the will of the people. And if
the elected representative of the people. Okay, no, he's the executive of the executive branch. The representatives are in Congress, which is why there's certain powers delegated to Congress. We have co-equal branches of government. Okay, that's one of the biggest things about our Constitution is making sure power does not concentrate in one area too much, because that prevents kings and dictatorships. Our founding fathers ran from kings and dictatorships. That's why they designed our founding document to do what it does. Okay? The president is not the representative person. He's the executive, sure, but he does not set the legislative priority for the entire country. He's not a dictator. Okay, there's congressional oversight, judicial review. There's many things here that he's saying right now that are completely antithetical to what our founding fathers intended.
Bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people and preventing the president.
And bureaucracy, okay, bureaucracy is an extension of Congress's power of oversight in the purse. Bureaucracy is an anti-corruption mechanism. Okay, bureaucracy helps carry out executive powers. It also serves as a check on executive powers. Bureaucracy works because you have people from, you know, Reagan's administration in there. You have Bush, Clinton. You have Bush again, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. You have people from all these different administrations. And by the way, like 40% of federal workers are former military, but you have all these people from different backgrounds working to enact policies on behalf of the American people, to properly carry out the laws that Congress sets. That's the job of the executive branch, is to faithfully carry out the laws that Congress passes. Okay? Bureaucrats, the reason it's anti-corruption, the reason it works, it's layered between different ideologies. What we see right now with Donald Trump, if you're someone from Reagan's administration or Bush, okay, You are a liberal and you're corrupt if you are not a Trump loyalist. If you stand up for the Constitution over Donald Trump, they kick you out and call you a crazy liberal, even if Reagan appointed you, even if Bush appointed you. There are people right now who were appointed by Trump weeks ago who decided to put the Constitution first, and Trump has already fired them from the bureaucracy. If they want to purge our FBI, CIA, all these different agencies, USAID, whatever else, all these government watchdogs, they're doing that because they know lessening bureaucracy increases the chance for corruption, because it concentrates power in the executive branch into the president, which is the unitary executive theory that Project 2025 talks about.
For implementing what the people want, then what we live in is a bureaucracy and not a democracy.
No. You're both aware, you have to be keenly aware, that the media and the punditry class, not that, you know, I think you've proven they have no power anymore, because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was,
poor victims.
you know, the New York Times, Washington
hard
Post,
on me.
3 networks,
They're so hard
every
on
late
me.
night comedy show, 2 cable channels.
Late night
They
comedy,
just
no.
they threw everything.
By the way, again, victimhood. Victimhood, victimhood, victimhood. Fox News gets like 75% of primetime news coverage. The right-wing media space dominates podcasts to a huge amount. They dominate YouTube. They dominate every platform except TikTok. The late-night comedy shows don't have an impact. Barely visible, barely viewed. All right, people that watch CNN watch that. But Fox News is huge. All these different, like Candace Owens is a Holocaust denier, and she is huge. The right wing is mainstream media. And Washington Post carries water for Trump all the time. So does New York Times. So do all of these organizations, these centrist organizations they label as far left, just because basic fact is considered to be left by Trump and his Trump sexuals and all the Musk munchers. It's so unfair, guys. It's so unfair. You own the media. Murdoch owns the media. Owner of Politico, far right. Owner of LA Times, far right. Owner of Washington Post, far right. The left does not own the media.
All fair, weaponization.
Sure.
And now I see they want you two to start, they want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try,
Bro, it's still the relationship line. They want you to start hating each other. They want you to, oh my God, bro. It's literally a reality TV show like Couple. It's the first ever gay couple to run the presidency. It's so amazing. Maybe it's going to be like a gay throuple with J.D. Vance, who's not allowed to come out. J.D. Vance is in the corner somewhere watching.
President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
Oh, I see it all the time. They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, you know, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. No, they said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has...
Baby girl, there's nothing they could do to drive us apart. Listen, baby girl, I love you. You're beautiful. You're powerful, Daddy Trump. Don't let them separate us. We have something special, okay? And also, I have the videos of you doing that stuff on Epstein's Island.
Ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, it's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president. Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I
Well, we
do
could
the
baby
greatest
cry.
things. I get
I
98%
cry
bad
all the
publicity. I could do,
time
outside
and
of you
I
and
lie.
a
What
few
the
of
hell,
your
dude?
very good friends.
Right.
It's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do,
They
actually.
get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
And at the end of this interview, what I would like is, I want people to know the relationship and know more about you.
Oh my God.
What is the relationship, Mr. President?
Are we going to see their like overnight feed when they sleep together too? Just like in Love is Blind? Can we see the overnight feed? Like, are they going to use protection? Like, what else do I need to know about this lovely relationship? How do they meet? This match made in heaven. Holy crap.
Well, I respect him. I've always respected him. I never knew that he was right on certain things, and I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. He did Starlink. He did things that were so advanced, and nobody knew what the hell they were. I can tell you, in North Carolina, they had no communication. They were wiped out. Those people were, you know, they had rivers in between.
Oh, you know when Elon Musk lied to everyone and he said he donated Starlink when in reality USAID paid for it? Remember when Elon Musk got money from USAID for the Starlink and he pretended that he donated it? That was funny.
Land that never saw water, all of a sudden it was a river and a vicious, like rapids. People were dying all over. They had no communication. They said, you know Elon Musk? They didn't really know I knew him. I said, yeah. He said, could you get Starlink? It's like the first time I ever heard of it. I said, what's Starlink? A communication system. That's unbelievable.
I have it.
Yeah, and he said, I called him and I said, listen, they really need it. And he got like thousands of units of this communication.
So
and it
many
saved
units,
a lot
bro.
of lives. He got it immediately, and you can't get it. I mean, you have to wait a long time to get it. But he got it to him immediately, and I said, that's pretty amazing, and I didn't even know he had it. We watched the rocket ship, so we watched Tesla. I think, you know, something that had an effect on me was when I saw the rocket ship come back and get grabbed, like you grab a beautiful little baby, you grab your baby. It just
hug the rocket.
I've never seen
right, everyone needs a
Oh man, remember, Elon Musk did not invent anything in his entire life, okay? He's a trust fund baby venture capitalist investor, okay? He's actually pretty dumb when it comes to science and technology. He calls himself a technologist because that's his branding. He's the Tony Stork. By the way, drop a like on the stream, drop a like on the YouTube Shorts. I will take calls after we react to all of this, okay? Stay for the shit show. And then stay for the calls after. It's going to be a fun time. If you want to guarantee a call, make sure you drop $10 to Jolah Politics on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal with your first name and your phone number to guarantee a call. A lot of people are going to be calling in. And if you want to donate to the show, Jolah Politics, Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Thank you for watching.
He's hugging clean rockets.
And he said, you know, you can't really have a rocket program if you're going to dump $1 billion into the ocean every time you fly. You have to save it.
Right.
And he saved it. First time that I've ever seen that done. And nobody else can do it. If you look at the U.S., Russia, or China, they can't do it. And they won't be able to do it for a long time. He has the technology. So you learn.
Bro, the U.S. paid for Elon Musk's company to do it. NASA could have easily developed that technology. They could have just hired the scientists that are doing it. The reason they give the contracts to the private companies that have other investors is to find that excess capital or the outside capital come in, outside capital and funding to come in. But NASA could have easily hired the same people Elon hired. Remember, they want you to think Elon Musk is a god, so you give full consent to him. Okay? He's not a god. He did not invent any of this. The people who invented it could have invented it for NASA or any other entity. And our taxpayer dollars funded the big rockets that they play catch with.
I wanted somebody really smart. Work with me in terms of the country.
Thank you, Suri, for the gifted membership. Thank you, Suri.
I mean, he doesn't talk about it. He's actually a very good businessman. And when he talks about the executive orders, and this is probably true for all presidents, you write an executive order and you think it's done. You send it out. It doesn't get done. It doesn't get implemented. They don't implement it. Maybe they're from the last
Thank you for the roses on TikTok. Thank you for the roses on TikTok. Thank you for watching.
As fast as you can. But I could, as soon as he said that, I said, you know, that's interesting.
Hit that like button.
You write a beautiful executive and you sign it and you assume it's going to be done, but it's not. What he does is he takes it and with his 100 geniuses, he's got some very brilliant young people working for him that dress much worse than him, actually. They dress in just T-shirts. You wouldn't.
He has a bunch of college drug addicts who are coming to steal our information. But he says executive order. You think it's going to happen as he wrote the executive order, but it doesn't. And then Elon Musk gets his 100 Graper goons, the Gooner squad, the Goon squad. Elon gets the Goon squad and does what with the executive orders? What does the Goon squad do with the executive orders? I don't
they
get
have
it.
180 IQ.
Wait a minute. So what he's
180
your tech
IQ?
support.
No, he is.
I actually literally
It's
am
not
tech
tech support.
I actually am tech support, though. But that's
Tech support.
He's a leader.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it done. You get a lot of tech people, and you have people that are good with tech, but they,
No, you're beautiful. No, you're beautiful.
You know,
No,
I said
you're
in real
beautiful.
estate,
No,
you
you're
had guys that
beautiful.
would draw beautiful renderings of a building, and they'd draw the rendering. It would be great, and you say, "Great, when are you starting?" But they were never able to get it built. They couldn't get the financing. They couldn't get the approvals. It would never get done. And then you have other guys that are able to get it done. You know, they could just get it done. I was in real estate. Same thing in this. He gets it done. So when he said that, he said, you know, when you sign these executive orders, a lot of them don't get done, and maybe the most important ones. And he would take that executive order that I'd sign, and he would have those people go to whatever agency it was.
What do they do?
When are you doing it? Get it done. Get it done. And some guy that.
Oh, so they violated the law and broke into agencies and shut them down. ignoring court orders. Interesting. Nice. So the executive orders were illegal, and Elon Musk's team still did them and forced their way in to our private. Okay, nice.
That maybe didn't want to do it. All of a sudden, he's signing. He just doesn't want to be bothered.
Do a lot of those executive orders have to be codified into law? You need the Republican Congress
and
to
they
follow
will be.
up.
A lot of
They don't care. They will be. Okay, we could violate the law. We'll do it later, bro. We could just do it on like we do rebates on laws now. Executive order now. We'll pass it later. Don't worry about it, bro.
them will be.
They will.
Look, in the meantime, we have 4 years. The beauty is we have 4 years. That's why I like doing it right at the beginning, because an executive order is great. I mean, the one problem, it's both good and bad, because when they did all these executive orders, I've canceled most of them. They were terrible. I mean, we're going to go radical left communists. Okay, it was crazy. Their
Really crazy.
executive orders were so bad. If they ever got them codified,
I want to hear one thing, okay? One thing from Trump. And people watching, you can call in once I'm done reacting to all these videos. I want to hear what communism... I want to hear what communism Joe Biden tried doing through executive order.
never be able to break them. So the damage that Biden has done to this country, and it's not even Biden, it's the people that circled him in the Oval Office, okay? But the damage they did to this country, in terms of, let's say, open borders, you know, there's so many things, but open borders, where millions of people poured into our country, and hundreds of thousands of those people are criminals. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're gang members, they're people from prisons from all over the world. And we have a great guy, Tom Homan.
Again, they don't know what they're talking about, so they have to revert back to topics that make you guys mad, like immigration, because they don't know what else they're talking about. They can't bullshit their way through it, so they gotta, like I said before, get a laser pointer out, make sure you guys are distracted. But yeah, it's wild. If you cared about crime, by the way, Donald Trump would not have pardoned January 6 violent offenders who beat the shit out of cops, all right? Let me tell you a little story about Donald Trump. So, Donald Trump lied to the American people after January 6. He said, by the way, they beat up cops. They should be in prison. All right? America said, you're right, Trump. You're right. They should be in prison. Then Donald Trump said, leading up to the election, like, maybe I'll pardon some, but I'm not going to pardon the violent ones. You know, the ones that beat up cops to the point where they had endless strokes, permanent brain damage, losing fingers, losing eyeballs, 140 cops total injured, multiple disabled for life now. I'm not going to pardon the violent ones that beat the cops with lead pipes and flagpoles and, you know, beat cops with the American flag. I'm not going to pardon the violent offenders. You know, Trump said that once upon a time. Then Trump said, you know what, guys? I'm going to pardon all of them. I'm going to go back on my promise to all of you, all of Americans. I'm going to go pardon all of the violent January 6 members, okay? I'm going to pardon all the violent January 6 members. And guess what? Out of those January 6 members that he pardoned, okay, the January 6 rioters that he pardoned, multiple were pedophiles. And Donald Trump knew they were pedophiles because during the January 6 investigations, we found that they were pedophiles, okay? When looking through their history. We knew they were pedophiles, abusing kids. Some beat the crap out of little kids, 3-year-olds, assaulting kids. Donald Trump set these pedophiles free after they beat the shit out of cops on his behalf. And guess what those pedophiles went and did? Those same pedophiles went out to assault more kids when Donald Trump knew they were pedophiles. So if you want to compare the immigration system being broken and Biden following the asylum law and having a couple immigrants do crimes which were terrible, there was no knowledge beforehand that Biden knew he was going to let child rapists out into the streets in America. That never happened, where Biden had the choice. I know this person's a child rapist, a pedophile, and I'm going to let them back into the streets of America. Biden never made that choice. Sure, some violent crime happens, leaks through the immigration system. Not intended. Not intended. But what Donald Trump did do is he took these child predators who want to rape children, knowing they want to rape children, and he put them back out in the streets. If you want to make a false equivalency there, you can. But you can trade in your I love Jesus card whenever is the next convenient business day.
And he is doing so incredibly. You saw the numbers, they're now like 96%.
95%.
He is a phenomenal guy. And Kristi Noem is doing an unbelievable job. And he wanted her. He said, she's so tough. And I said, I don't think of her as that way. You know, she's very nice. He said, no, she's so tough. And she is. I see with the horses. She's riding the horse. Let's go. She's great. But the team we have is really unbelievable. But those executive orders, I sign them, and now they get passed on to him and his group and other people, and they're all getting done. We're getting them done.
Let me go back a little bit to your background, because it's beyond impressive. You were the chief engineer, for example. You were an early believer in Tesla. You became the CEO, and then the chief engineer, which was phenomenal. SpaceX, same thing, which is unbelievable. I mean, you were the first private company to send astronauts successfully into space. First private company to send astronauts.
Remember, he owned it. Okay, he owned it. He did not do anything. He did not do any science behind it. He did not do any engineering. He did not do any technology at all. He did not do any inventing, etc. He's a investor. He's a rich guy who buys companies. You can say he's a good investor. He's a great investor, great entrepreneur, but he's not Tony Stark. He knows nothing about these inventions. He did not do it.
Astronauts into orbit.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
He's going to go into orbit.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go to Mars. He's
Starlink.
At some point. Yeah.
Is in
But they always ask me, like, do you want to die on Mars? And I say, well, yes, but not on impact.
Starlink is in 100 countries. This is going to be hard. I feel like I'm interviewing two brothers here.
You go ahead.
Star Shield, which could be used for national defense.
Yeah, it is already being used for national defense.
Then you have what is it called? Optimus, a part of Tesla.
The robot, yeah.
A robotic arm. Then you have an AI arm. And then you have something that really...
So this is a really big development. So Donald Trump...
Or golf.
Okay, here you go. Redemption time. Simple father-daughter bonding.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Dot, what the
If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall. Trump is saying she's going to be the next Caitlin Clark, although Caitlin Clark was probably not born yet. That makes sense. Please be true. Please.
She's got the best body.
Yep.
Your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Conservative men watching this. If someone tells you your daughter is a nice piece of ass, I don't know about you, but I would not let that person, I would not trust them to clean my septic line, bro.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
Oh,
for
man.
your own daughter.
Ew.
That sounds like a word you tell kids to avoid on Roblox.
Voluptuous? Why is he talking about his daughter body like that, bro? What?
A nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that guy's creepy. What the hell?
fascinated me.
They gotta ban him from women's sports, bro.
And it's called Neuralink.
Yes.
You might help the blind to see, and people with spinal cord injuries, that they can recover, where in the past, how close is that to becoming a success?
Thank you guys for watching. We're at 1,100 viewers. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you drop a like. We want 100 likes. We're at 70 right now. Okay, drop a like on the stream. Remember, when they say Elon Musk is going to cure blindness and all this shit, he didn't invent anything.
Neuralink, we've had.
He did not invent it.
Neuralink in.
Thank you for the $20, Jordan. Thank you for $20, Jordan. Jolah, just remember, us Trump sexuals will stand firm in our belief that the election was all a lie and Biden was never president. Or Trump together, angry, Trump together we stand, MAGA, 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 ooh, soy boy baby. Okay, thank you, Jordan, for $20.
And 3 patients so far who are quadriplegics, and it allows them to directly control their phone and computer just using their mind, just by thinking. It's like, so we call this product telepathy. So you control your computer and phone just by thinking, and it's possible to actually control the computer and phone faster than someone who has working hands. Then the next step would be to add a second Neuralink implant past the point where the neurons are damaged, so that somebody can walk again, and so they can have full body functionality restored. And
you like Bobby, right?
I like Bobby, actually. Yeah, I think I supported Bobby Kennedy. I think he's unfairly maligned as someone who is anti-science, but I think he isn't. He just wants to question the science, which is the essence of the science. The scientific method fundamentally is about always questioning the science.
Well, they didn't tell us the truth about COVID.
Correct.
That's for sure.
Yes.
And we learned a lot with the Twitter files. And that just then raises.
Thank you for $5, Captain of Dragons. When I lived in NY in the late 90s, everyone knew Trump had connections with the Russian mafia. Thank you, Captain of Dragons. Interesting.
There's a question.
Is that
You're the richest
true?
man in the world. You may not like that part. You're pretty competitive.
It's neither here nor there.
I've known you a long time.
Matters.
But
That's why I
but he's on your team.
president.
Well, that's true. He can't top that.
He's good. You know, I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. I searched all over. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You
I couldn't.
really tried hard.
I couldn't find anyone smarter, right? So we had it for the country.
But this is the thing.
We settled on this.
Well,
guy.
thanks for having me.
So,
I'm just trying to be useful
this is
here.
the interesting. This is where we are as a society, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're doing all of these things. Doge. Nobody at Doge gets paid a penny, correct?
Well, actually, some people are federal employees.
Some are, okay.
Yeah,
They're helping.
But it's fair to say that the software engineers at Doge could be earning millions of dollars a year, and instead of earning a small fraction of that as federal employees.
Okay, so.
By the way, that's hilarious because that's the same for every bureaucrat that Elon Musk villainizes, deep state bureaucrats. They love public service, many of them, and they take lower paychecks to work in government. That's one of the biggest, most honorable things about public servants and bureaucrats. And like I said before, many of them are veterans. Okay, it's a great pipeline for veterans to go work there once they're done serving. If they get injured or if they're just done in general, it's a great offboarding program for them to have a good, stable career. Elon Musk is cutting thousands of people that work in the VA and for the veteran suicide hotline right now because that's awesome. But what he just said right there about actual federal employees, not his goons that he's paying under the table or whatever, but actual federal employees, yeah, that's a good point for them. They're taking less money to work for public service.
And
they're very committed people.
So
yes.
you're committed to helping the blind see, people with spinal cord injuries.
Yes, he is Jesus.
Recover.
Yes.
You're committed to getting to Mars. You're committed to rescue. You're going to help rescue next month 2 astronauts that I think were abandoned. They dispute that in an interview.
When
At the president's
them?
request, or instruction, we are accelerating the return of the astronauts, which was postponed kind of to a ridiculous degree.
They got left in space.
They've been there. They were supposed to be there 8 days. They're there almost 300.
Biden.
Now, this is all not true at all, by the way. This is a complete lie.
They were yes, they were left up there for political reasons, which is not.
Now, if you hear them say this, if you're a reasonable person, you would take everything they say after this point with a lot of hesitancy, okay? Because this story is completely untrue. They have all the gear they need to return back to Earth, all right? They've been in low orbit since June. They're not stranded. They're not stranded. They have the ability to leave, but if they left, there would only be 1 astronaut left on board, all right? So that's why there's alternate methods being developed, but they're staying there intentionally by their own choice. And I'm sure you could look up more information about it, but the idea that it's somewhat political, that it's somewhat like Biden's fault, or if it should be used for politics at all, that idea is a complete lie. And you cannot trust people who are going to lie to you that openly. And they know it's a lie. They've been saying the lie. They know it's a lie.
It's not good.
Okay, it's not good. Now, if I had the weight of the pressure of doing that successfully on my shoulders, I think I'd be, But when we spoke before we did this interview, you are very confident. You think this will be a successful mission.
Well, we don't want to be complacent, but we have brought astronauts back from the space station many times before, and always with success. Mm-hmm. So, as long as we're not complacent.
When are you going to launch?
I think it's about 4 weeks to bring them back.
About 4 weeks?
Yeah.
And
we're being extremely cautious. Yeah.
You now have the go-ahead.
Yes. Well, thanks to you.
They didn't have the go-ahead with Biden.
What's that?
He was going to leave him in space.
The delay, by the way, was done by SpaceX, not by Biden. Biden was not going to leave them in space. Again, if you believe this, you're either a fool and they know you're dumb and they're manipulating the fact that you're dumb, or you're a bad person and you're okay with lying. You're okay with lying if you fall in line with this storytelling they are doing, okay? I don't think you're a bad person. And now you know the truth about the situation. Google the SpaceX delays, Google and don't go to usapatriot.org. Go to actual news sources. Go to NASA. Go to the interviews from the astronauts. You know they are lying here. You know they're lying about something very basic. Think about what else. Think about what else they're lying to you about.
I think he was going to leave him in space.
Well, it's like when we were growing up, lost in space.
Yeah, he didn't want the publicity. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. And so I want to echo something that the president said and then ask an overarching question. So people get hit with Hurricane Helene. They have no communication with the outside world. You come to the rescue. You donated that, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. You donated to the people.
He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina. He saved a lot of lives.
And California after the wildfires?
California, but I mean in North Carolina where they were really in trouble. They had no communication. People were dying. They were dying of starvation. He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina.
Okay, now you're going to rescue astronauts. And now, again, you do all of this. I would think liberals would love the fact that you have the biggest electric vehicle company in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be adored by the left, you know.
Yeah, not anymore.
Less so these days.
You killed that, huh?
I mean, less so.
I really didn't.
Well, I mean, this whole sort of like, you know, they call it like Trump derangement syndrome. And you don't realize how real this is until like you can't reason with people. So like I was at a friend's birthday party in LA, just a birthday dinner, and it was like a nice, quiet dinner, and everyone was behaving normally. And then I happened to mention, this is before the election, like a month or two before, I happened to mention the president's name. And it was like they got shot with a dart in the jugular that contained like methamphetamine and rabies, okay? And they're like, wow! And I'm like, what is wrong? Like, guys, like, you just can't have like a normal conversation.
By the way, Elon Musk is very trustworthy. According to Doge that he released today, a report he released today with savings. So they reported $8 billion of savings here, all right, with program and technical support services for Office of Diversity and Civil Rights. The actual number is $8 million. Okay, so 8,000,000,000.00, $8 million. They reported it as $8 billion. $8 billion. The report said $8 billion down here because they think you're stupid and they think you're not going to look into anything. Oh, people hate him for no reason, bro. He's not doing anything wrong. He's here to help you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it's like they become completely irrational.
He has no idea. But
By the way, notice their facial expressions when they're asked like a real question about the world and they pivot away from it. When they ask a real question or when they get asked a real question, they get very stiff and awkward and they look scared. Like they know they're about to be called out in their lie. Okay? Now, when they get asked a question like this, which is pure propaganda, he is so gleeful. He's so happy. He gets to propagandize now. He does not need to answer about his lies about him being a technology expert and the new Einstein, although he's just a rich venture capitalist trust fund baby. He's a good entrepreneur, sure. He moves around money, good job. You own companies. You don't invent anything. Move past that. Move past the illegal executive orders. Move past the data seizing that his kids have been doing with the private servers. Move past everything to do with reality. Move past how he cut veteran services, how he cut veteran suicide hotline services, how he cut workers that controlled our nuclear facilities on accident and had to find them to hire them back. How they cut workers who were focusing on the bird flu and had to fire and had to rehire them and find them again. Divert away from all the real issues to go back to propaganda, immigration, LGBT, pronouns, TDS. They want you, little flies, repeating TDS, 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 a bunch of slogans, so you don't focus on the real issues Americans are facing, so you don't focus on their lack of understanding of the real issues, so you don't focus on their corruption. That's the whole game here.
if you're friends with him, you pay a price. You know, it's I walk in a restaurant in New York and it's like half the room gets daggers and they want to.
No, the eye daggers level is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there was I had some invitation because I got invited to basically a big sort of damn event that was, but I received the invitation at the beginning of last year, and I still attended even after I'd endorsed President Trump, and I didn't realize how profoundly that would affect how I was received. I mean, I walk into the room and I'm getting just the dirty looks from everyone. If looks could kill, I would have been dead several times over.
But that was not before Trump. BT,
ashes on the floor.
Before Trump, that never happened, right?
No.
All right, there's segment one. I guess I'll post this in 3 different parts. Why am I barking? Why am I barking right now, bro? Or should I take some call-ins? I bet people want to call in. Do you guys want to call in and talk to me? Yo, let me know in chat. Say soy boy in chat if you want me to take calls. Say soy boy in chat. Say soy boy. Say soy boy. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the stream, by the way. Make a drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night.
Welcome back to Hannity, and we are back at the White House, and here's part 2 of my exclusive interview with President Trump and Elon Musk. Take a look. This is the $1 million or $1 billion, I'm among billionaires, question. So you have all of this going
I'm among billionaires, bro. I'm among billionaires, $1 billion question. Oh my God, so gay.
And you stop. in a way. You're still doing it. And you partner with him. And this is what you get from the Democrats. You get, nobody voted for Elon. Well, nobody voted for any of your cabinet nominees. Okay. People are dying because of Doge cuts. I'll give you a chance.
They directly were. Multiple people died from our health services being cut, our aid being cut in different areas. And you can say you want to cut different programs, but there's a reason we have Congress confirm people who work in the federal government. There's a reason we have Congress having power of the purse and Congress having oversight and Congress having all these different powers as a co-equal branch of government. Okay, we have stories of people fleeing countries because the USAID was cut off instantly, and they're on humanitarian trips, and they're fleeing countries, barely escaping with their lives because of their dumbass cutting. And like I said, they accidentally cut the nuclear. I don't know what their actual job title is, but the people who controlled our nukes, they accidentally fired the bird flu people. They accidentally fired a bunch of different people. They fired the Veterans Crisis Hotline, the Vets Suicide Hotline people. They're cutting all these programs that are really helpful. They're firing a bunch of vets from the federal government. The federal government and bureaucracy has a lot of veterans in there. A lot of veterans go there to work after they serve, and they're just firing them willy-nilly because they think they're not efficient enough, but it's all a lie.
That's to respond.
Yeah.
What Doge is doing is illegal. Elon Musk is more street vernacular for a male body part. It's a constitutional crisis.
Okay. Why are they reacting like this?
Well,
I'm just finding fraud. I'm just finding fraud, bro. I have zero proof. I'm just finding fraud. Although I'm the biggest recipient of American taxpayer dollar in American history, I'm just here finding fraud. Although Elon Musk, by the way, Tesla has said they fully reaffirm Chinese socialist values. Elon Musk is a communist. All right, look up Tesla, socialism, China. All the Trumpers and MAGA and Elon people who watch this video, who are in the chat right now, look up Elon Musk, Tesla, socialism, China. Look up the intelligence relationship Musk has with China. All right, the richest man of all time. The propaganda he is paying people to tell you is he's too rich. He's too rich. He never wants more money. Bro, they always want more money. The addicts always want more power. They always want more control. They always want more of that drug. They want more control. It's not about money or the number. There's a reason he doesn't stop at 100 billion or 200 billion or 300 billion or 400 billion or 450 billion. They want more and more and more power. If they could be the emperor of the entire earth, they would be. Look up Elon Musk and his ties to communism, Elon Musk, Tesla, socialism, okay? How much money Elon Musk has received in taxpayer contracts in America, all the personal data Elon Musk has stolen from us, all the investigations Elon Musk has been under by the same agencies he's trying to dismantle right now. Huge conflict of interest. He is not your friend. He is not anyone's friend. He is not any human's friend. He wants to put our kids into AI classrooms where they're taught by AI teachers and no humans anymore. He wants a global satellite surveillance system to watch every human being and every movement you make. Patriot Act times 5,000. Look it up. Elon Musk wants to do it. Look up Praxis, Peter Thiel's network. He wants to establish a complete surveillance state that watches your every single move, down to your most precise biometric. Okay? They want to be in control of you. They want to be techno-monarchs. Techno-monarchs. Maybe you love Trump. But Elon Musk, like I said, he's not your friend. He's not to be trusted. Where are the private servers they install into the Social Security, into the IRS, into all these different departments with our critical information, with our bank account numbers? Is that information in China right now? We don't know because they're not transparent at all. And the only transparency they give is a post on X. And they want you dumbasses to believe that's what transparency means.
First of all, do you give a flying rip? Number one, and
well, I guess we must be over the target or doing something right. You know, if like they wouldn't be complaining so much if we weren't doing something useful. I think. What all we're really trying to do here is restore the will of the people through the president. And what we're finding is that there's an unelected bureaucracy. Speaking of unelected, there's a vast federal bureaucracy that is implacably opposed to the president and the cabinet.
The bureaucracy is made up of, like I said before, officials from Reagan's administration, Bush, H.W. Bush's, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump, okay? In bureaucracy, it's like 30 or 40% military vet. It's hugely diverse in ideology. It's a check against corruption. It's an extension of congressional oversight when they make agencies or take agencies apart through Congress. All right, bureaucracy is anti-corruption. It makes it so the president does not have ultimate power in the executive branch. Bureaucracy is a good thing. They want you to think it's a bad thing because communist Elon Musk, on behalf of the Communist Chinese Party, wants you to believe bureaucrats are bad, so you get rid of bureaucrats so he can manipulate the entire system. They are trying to remove people right now who Trump appointed in his first term. Trump appointed bureaucrats. Trump appointed judges. Trump appointed prosecutors because they are not loyalist enough. And by loyalist, Elon Musk means they are not serving the needs of the Communist Party of China enough, or the Chinese Communist Party. Communist Party. All right, they're not serving Russia enough. That's why Trump's getting rid of his own appointees. His own appointees. They're all of a sudden evil to him now. Even appointees from 3 weeks ago resigning because they're being asked to betray America on behalf of Elon Musk.
Cabinet. And you look at, say, DC voting, it's 92% Kamala. Okay, so we're 92% Kamala. That's a lot.
They don't like me here either.
I think about that number a lot. And like 92%. That's basically almost everyone.
Yeah.
And so, but how can you, if the will of the president is not implemented, and the president is representative of the people, that means the will of the people is not being implemented. And that means we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy.
Is this part of the other video we watched already?
And so I think what we're
That is your goal, is it not?
Yeah, and my goal was to get great people. And when you look at what this man has done, I mean, it was something. I knew him a little bit through the White House. Originally, I'd see him around a little bit. I didn't know him before that.
Okay, I don't care. Donald Trump didn't Donald Trump say Elon Musk is like a dog or something? His little pet dog, or I forget what he called him. Okay, let's take calls. Let's take calls. Like I said before, if you have any extra spare change on you, donating to Jolah Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo is really helpful. If you donate $10 with your first name and your phone number, you'll get it there. You get a guaranteed call-in slot. Okay, guaranteed call-in slot. And also, you can donate through the coffee link that you see above my head or below me. Coffee.com/JolahPolitics. That's text to speech. If you donate there, it'll read your message out loud. Okay? I'm going to open up the phone lines in 10 seconds for whoever wants to call into the show. All right, it's open. Is Elon Musk? Yeah, sure. True. 30 million Americans over 100 are collecting Social Security. Door jam. That's not true. Door jam. 30 million Americans are not connected. Are not. That's not true. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go. What's up?
Am I on?
You're live. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that you say that Trump hates America. Why is that?
Because he hates America.
That's not an argument.
Yeah, it is. He pardoned the January 6th violent offenders that are pedophiles and they beat up cops. That's really bad.
Yeah, can we get some names? You're just like speaking stuff out of your ass.
Yes, here. Donald Trump, Jan 6 pardon. Child sex abuse.
Yeah, because, I mean, he's closed down the border.
Look at this.
So
damn, dude. He closed down the border. He should have closed down this guy from going after this child. Okay, Houston man pardoned by Trump arrested on child sex charge. Wow, that's crazy. Are you okay with Donald Trump allowing this child predator out to go attack more children? Is that bad? Do you think that's bad?
Well, it's not.
He's on the screen right now.
Well, it was a peaceful protest, actually.
So you're okay with the pedophilia? You're okay with the child sex trafficking?
Only one girl
You're
died.
okay with the You're okay with the pedophilia?
Damn. If you look at the Black Lives Matter protest,
bro, that's crazy. Can you at least say letting the pedophile free? Can you at least say letting the pedophile, dude, brother? I am
You know,
concerned
you're the
about America right
minority
now.
I hope you
Why?
know that.
I
You're
am
the
concerned.
minority.
Do you have an
You're
argument,
the
sir?
minority. Trump
Do you have an
won
argument?
every single swing
Okay,
state.
if the
They tried
minority
to
is being
kill
against
him,
pedophilia
and yet he
and being
still
pro-cop,
won.
then I guess I'm in
He
the
won the
minority now.
popular vote, and
Buddy,
he
you're
won the
emotional.
electoral
Hey,
college.
buddy.
And you're
You're
bad.
doing, you're doing tricks on it. Tell me about this guy who was going after children. They knew he was a child sex criminal.
What's his name?
Andrew Tate is one of them. Let me get the whole list of them. Here, let me go find the rest of them. Can you say that one guy's bad though?
I know you talked about too. You're talking about Trump and like all this stuff he says. What about Biden? What about him sniffing the little children?
Okay, another one is David Daniel. Okay, so
What
David
about-
Daniel was set
Yeah,
free
you
from
talked
prison
about
after.
that.
Okay,
Are
listen.
First
Can
of
you
all,
please say pedophiles
how
bad? Can
many-
you say pedophiles are bad? 1 second. Can you say pedophiles are? Do you put Donald Trump and loving him above hating pedophiles? Like, what's wrong with you, dude? Okay, David Daniel, who was set free from prison after assaulting a police officer on January 6th by the president, is now facing child sexual assault and child pornography charges involving 2 young girls in his family, one prepubescent and one under the age of 12. They knew he was a child predator. They still released him for Trump's political ambitions. He went after more kids after. Thank God, our police officers got him again. Thank God our police officers got him, bro. Can you just say Trump is bad for releasing the pedophiles? Can you say that?
No, because it didn't happen. It's not true.
That's so disgraceful that you would let child sex crimes slide over your love of Trump. You know how pathetic that is? You know how pathetic that is? You know how pathetic that is? You know how pathetic that is?
You know how
David
pathetic
Daniel, can you just say that child sex crimes are bad?
pathetic.
Can you say that child sex crimes are bad?
You're pathetic that you're a liberal.
Can you say that child sex crimes are bad? Sir, you are representing your side terribly right now.
How?
Can you just say that releasing child sex criminals is bad when they go after more children? Can you admit that? Can you admit that?
Communist is trying to decrease the size of the government.
Can you
How
admit
does that
that?
make sense?
Can you admit that the child pedophilia is bad? That Trump should not have released him to go after more children? Could you just admit that?
No, because it's not true. You know, I think
Yeah, nothing's true if it's... Yeah, you're delusional. Actually, no, you just don't care about kids. You just don't care about protecting kids or protecting Americans. You just don't care. You're just going to say it's not true. You're just going to say it's not true.
Why would he decrease the size of the government if he was a kid?
Man, I'm not talking to you if you're going to be pro-child
harder for
pedophilia. If you're pro-pedophile, I'm not going to talk to you. Like, seriously, bro. You can't even criticize pedophilia. Like, your brain's broken. Your brain's broken. You're not a real American. You're not a Christian. You're not anything. You can't even criticize pedophilia because you love Trump so much. You know how gross that is? Do you know how gross that is? Unironically. You can't even criticize pedophilia because you're so in love with Trump. Can you criticize pedophilia right now? Criticize pedophilia. Can you do that? Can you criticize pedophilia? Can you criticize pedophilia right now? Can you handle that? Do you care that these kids got assaulted? Can you handle just doing one thing? Just say you made a mistake there.
No, because you're a liar.
Just say you made a mistake there. Tell that to the girls. Tell that to the girls. Tell that to the little kids. Tell that to the little kids.
Yeah,
Can you just admit he made a mistake here? Just say
how
he made a
many
mistake.
genders are there?
Just say he made a
How many
mistake. Just say he made a mistake. Can you just say he made a mistake?
No.
By letting these child sex predators out to attack more children. Say he made a mistake.
No.
That's all you got. You don't got to say a huge indictment on him. Just say he made a mistake.
Just to answer all the other lies you said.
He made a
about
mistake. He made a mistake. Just say he made a mistake.
So-
Are you going to keep on defending child sex crimes?
What is your problem?
I care that you don't care about our police officers getting beat up by American flagpoles by violent rioters who then went on to assault kids. And you don't care about that. You won't even say it's a bad thing. Your brain is so poisoned by your adoration of this dumbass billionaire that you won't even criticize pedophiles and child sex criminals. You could just say you made a mistake there. Just say you made a mistake. You don't even have to say you knew it happened. Just say he had oversight that was messed up. Say he was fed the wrong information.
You can't even defend any of these other points I'm talking about with you.
I do not respect arguments from someone who cannot criticize child sex crimes. I'll be honest. I think that's a decent line all of us can agree with in chat. No matter what side you're on. Can you just say it's bad to knowingly, just say it's bad to knowingly release predators out to attack children. Just say it's bad. He was behind bars and he was made to be free. Can you please just admit it's bad?
CNN isn't even bringing up any of this stuff. CNBC, you're pulling this shit out of your ass. No one's talking about this except you. I don't know where the hell you're bringing this up from. This is
I think it's a problem, right? Why is no one else talking about this?
because it's not true.
You don't trust the police in North Carolina? You don't
it.
trust the police reports in North Carolina. You don't trust the 12-year-old girls that got assaulted. Can you just say that it's a bad thing he released these people?
Every single little thing they can try to find against Trump. So if
you think this is a little thing? You think child sex crime is a little thing because you love Trump so much? You think child sex crimes are a little thing? Are you kidding me?
Terrible thing, but it never happened. See,
you're gonna say it never happened. You're just gonna say it never happened. The 12-year-old girls that got assaulted. You're gonna say it never happened because you love Trump so much.
It just shows how incompetent you are. You just think you can speak fast and yell and just make up.
Bro, I'll talk to someone else who's an actual human being. You're scum.
You're staying on
You're
one
scum.
little point. What's that?
Just say the child sex crime is bad. Is it bad?
I already said it was, but this is.
Can you just say that? Can you just say it was a mistake to release it? To release these certain people. You could say it was fine to release all the peaceful ones. Can you just say it was a mistake to release the violent criminals that are child sex criminals from January 6th?
If that happened, which I do not think it did, then yes.
Okay, now we can talk about something else.
Out, but let's
it did come out. There's police reports. They went back after kids when they got released, bro.
Stuff, okay,
no, I'm done with you, bro. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. No, you're pathetic. You're disgusting. I'm not talking to you. Why would I talk to him? Why would I talk to him, bro? Why would I talk to him? All right, someone else call in who's an actual human being. He could have literally just said it was a mistake on Trump's behalf. He could have just said it was a mistake. He could have just said it was a mistake.
Call from.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going? What's up?
Is this Jack?
This is the politics.
Oh shoot! Oh sweet. What's up?
Nothing much. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm just saying what's up, man.
Nothing much. You have something to talk about? Or you're just saying hi.
What's going on, man?
God, dude.
What's the hot take?
All right, someone else who wants to actually have a conversation. I have a question ready. Okay, have a question ready for calling in. I told you could donate $10. $10 to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, Jolah Politics, with your first name and your phone number, and you can call in first. I'm not doing super chats. I already said that.
Call from.
Listen to the rules.
Dumbass.
Hi, Cam. Hi, Connor. Attention, chat. I'm funded by the deep state. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Okay, opening call lines again. Can someone go through and review that last clip I just had on that caller and blur out every time I said child sex crime, so I can get monetized if I post it? These are special people they're calling in right now. Hello?
Call from.
Hello? Howdy. What's up?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
I accepted it. Don't worry, we're gonna get one. We're gonna get a good one. Gotta wait for it. Thank you for dropping a like and subscribing on the stream. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Hello?
Hello?
Howdy.
Can you actually hear me? I can't talk.
Yes, sir, you're live. What's up? Can you hear me?
Oh shit, it's just on a delay.
Do you have the stream on?
Yeah, I had the stream on my phone. That's how I saw it.
Okay.
What's it called? I just had a question for you. Who would you have rather won then?
In general, out of every person in America?
No, just in general, like the actual picks that we had, like not just in like specifically the right or the left party, but more or less like were you like an RFK supporter? Were you like a Bernie supporter? Like where do you stand? I've never seen you before. That's why I'm asking.
Well, my biggest goal is to get big money out of politics, and the only politician I know that's been close to the presidency who's been really principled on that is Bernie. Even if I disagree with some of his other policies, he's the only politician that doesn't take like corporate donations. So I did like him for the trust busting, monopoly busting, and also for getting money out of politics for sure.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Nice. All right, next up. Let me check if I got anything on Venmo or Cash App or PayPal. Nope. I did see some super chats. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for the donations. America, voted for this. America, voted for this. Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, I'm Daniel. Oh, there's just a delay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. If you shut the stream off, the delay should probably go away. But yeah, you're live.
Oh, okay, awesome. I guess I should probably start by saying that I don't really agree with a lot of Republican views.
Okay.
I don't necessarily love Trump the way some people do, but I think saying he hates America is kind of an overstatement, personally.
I would disagree because I don't think he cares about like anything that founds this country, whether it's our Constitution, or our armed forces, even how he approaches like Russia. I think is very anti-American. I think Ronald Reagan would slap him across the face right now if he saw what Trump was doing with Ukraine.
Ooh, in what way? Like I'm not really tracking any changes in policy with Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from I know he wants to stop sending money. It's one of the things he's talked about, but I don't think he's actually gonna do it.
So he does not just want to stop sending money. He also wants to pillage Ukraine of half of their resources, essentially. He wants to give Russia every single piece of land that they have stolen from Ukraine during the invasion. Just today, he blamed Ukraine for starting the war, which is false. He said that Russia fought for the land and they had people die getting it, so they deserve it, although Russia has been doing constant war crimes invading Ukraine. Trump is pressuring Ukraine to accept Russia's preferred deal. And Trump also looks to be it looks like he might pull troops all out of Eastern Europe in general. Pull a lot of troops out of Europe, making the way for Putin to keep on moving east. So it seems like Trump is giving Putin every concession without even debating it. Meanwhile, he wants to steal from Ukraine, which is insane.
So I do agree we shouldn't pull troops out of Eastern Europe, especially Germany and Poland. I know we have some pretty big bases over there. But that just sounds like some sort of isolationism to me, which I don't fundamentally agree with it, but I think it's a valid policy to some extent. Now, as far as going towards Russia, I mean, what else could you do? Because Ukraine wants to regain obviously it wants to get all of its land back, but Russia says it won't take a deal unless it gets at the very least, it gets the land it has in Ukraine, like the territories it's taken over. So if there's going to be some sort of peaceful or semi-peaceful resolution to the war, that sounds like the most viable outcome.
So appeasing these countries never works. Appeasing Russia is going to lead to them trying to get all of Ukraine, all of Belarus, all of Georgia. They do want to reestablish the former Soviet Union. That is the end goal
Yeah,
here.
I'm tracking
And it
that.
seems like Russia's not taking, or the U.S. is not taking an isolationist position. They're actually trying to drain Ukraine of resources while restarting trade completely with Russia. So we have Donald Trump, for example, spending his entire presidency trashing Canada and Mexico and Greenland and Panama and Denmark. And, like, those are the main enemies. And the EU, JD Vance saying the EU, the big threat's not China or Russia, is the enemy with him. So they're attacking all of our allies. Meanwhile, you talk about China and Russia, it's nothing but flowery language. It's nothing but appeasement. It's nothing but joy and support. So it's like, why is Donald Trump actively harming our trade relations with our fellow free democracies? And he's harming those relationships. Meanwhile, he's trying to bolster relationships with autocracies and dictatorships like Russia, China, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, and also Hungary.
Well, I don't fully understand the reason behind Canada, but the idea that and from my understanding, this is what's happening, is that a lot of the problems that come from Mexico, and I don't agree with them. I agree that Mexico and Canada are our biggest trading partners, but specifically for Mexico, there's the whole deal with the war on drugs.
The fentanyl comes from China, though, bro. The fentanyl is made in China mostly. The fentanyl is made in China.
Yeah, I agree that fentanyl is the main issue, right? Like I'm not necessarily pro drugs, but I do understand some of the points behind it. But I do think that there's an issue with drugs coming from Mexico, or at the very least from the southern border. Now, I don't agree with Mexico being the issue. I agree with the issue is not one of supply, but one of demand in the U.S. That's my personal take on it. But I don't necessarily think that the perspective is evil per se.
Well, Mexico already works with us on this topic. They actually were asking for cooperation from America because most of the cartel's drugs come from America. I think 70% of the cartel's drugs are actually from America, trafficked into Mexico in the same way that drugs are trafficked into America, but it's all through legal ports of entry. It's not through illegal immigration or anything like that. And Mexico has been a very good partner. Biden got a $1.5 billion investment in 2022 with Mexico. And also just like the fact he's going after Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs, he's going after China with 10% tariffs. He's talking about occupying Greenland. It makes zero sense. If it feels like he's like purposely, and the fact that USAID is now pulling back our soft power from countries from around the globe, and China swooping in to claim that influence, it seems like we're having a very pro-Russia and pro-China policy in America for a very weird reason. We're not really benefiting from it.
I mean, I get that. I get that. But so I'm not tracking that investment in Mexico, that $1.5 million investment. What exactly was it for, do you know?
So it was on border security and helping Mexico create more checkpoints for stemming the flow of immigration from Guatemala and other countries. And that's one of the reasons that immigration is so low right now. You could actually see it was a 2-year plan. And those who are in the chat who don't like facts or logic and don't care how the system actually works, it was a 2-year plan, $1.5 billion, I believe. And it did have great results. So like now, before Biden left office, his final 6 months, the immigration numbers actually returned to pre-pandemic levels. But Biden never got credit, of course. Trump is taking credit for that now. But Mexico has been a great partner. They've maintained 10,000 to 15,000 troops on the border as well. They've been doing that already. Trump claimed that he's the person that started that, but they've been doing that for years. So yeah, Mexico's been working with us, and they are asking us to actually help them because we're not helping them at all with the guns that are being trafficked into Mexico. But then I would again say that the China stuff, or not China, the Canada stuff is insane on regardless.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Canada stuff is, but to me, the Canada stuff, the Greenland stuff, and I know there's one of his tactics because the Trump team has actually gone on to say this, that the reason why they start pushing all of these crazy stories is kind of like a smokescreen. I feel like they're just, and the tariffs, I never thought they were that big of a deal, mainly because I know they're not going to happen. Like you noticed, you noticed when he started talking about the tariffs for Mexico and the tariffs for Canada, it was mostly just kind of like pulling. It's a big stick strategy to get other countries to get onto our policies, I guess.
What policies did he get out of it? And I would also say that it still does not really make any sense because, like I said before, whenever we did this with Colombia as well, Trump is doing this with all these different trading partners that trade majorly with the U.S. and Canada, or not, sorry, I keep on mixing up Canada and China. China is swooping in to get that influence, like I said. So now we have Canada and other countries looking for alternative trading partners. So it's hurting, like, if the U.S. is going to be like threatening tariffs every now and then for funsies, these countries will find alternative partners, and that alternative partner that is going to be able to meet demand is going to be, again, China, and for oil, it's going to be Russia. So, like, it's just a really interesting, like I said, we're just doing a lot of things globally right now that are really beneficial towards those two countries in particular, especially Russia with their foreign policy. But yeah, I want to finish on a final question that you might have.
No, you're fine. So what is in Russia like the biggest, outside of the U.S., I guess the second biggest supplier of gas? How would they?
Maybe Saudi Arabia and Russia.
Really? I thought it was Russia.
Yeah. So like,
well, I know.
It's similar.
Oh, sorry,
it depends. It depends on the year. It depends. Yeah, it depends on a lot of different factors. But usually they're 2 and 3.
Yeah. Well, but the point stands that Russia has an oversupply of natural gas. Why would they demand it? Like, what demand would there be in Russia for?
I'm saying for trading partners. So like if the U.S. is going to be tariffing and doing reciprocal tariffs and making like bad trading partners, I'm just saying countries in general are going to find other trading partners. And like USAID keeps our trading routes open. It keeps our influence high around the world. Leaving South Africa and Africa in general. Well, yeah, Africa in general. China has been doing the Belt and Road Initiative. We're just leaving that entire playing field open for China to go grab influence. But yeah, China, I think, even made it like an internal announcement that they're shutting down a lot of their foreign policy operations against the U.S. because we're destroying ourselves. I'm not sure if that was fake news or not, but they're happy and they're content with what we're doing because we're doing like a self-destruction. And I don't think the American people will feel it. But we are just acting very recklessly. And I think someone said in chat, you can't play poker bluffing every single hand. But yeah, final thoughts. I'm going to move on to another caller. Thank you for the $10 donation for call-in. Someone just donated. If you want to call into the show, like I said, you could donate $10 to Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo to guarantee a call-in with your first name and your phone number. Jolah Politics. Other than that, you have to call the line and hope you get picked at random. But we do have someone that donated, so I will call you next.
All right. You have a good day, man.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one. All right. How's it going, chat, on YouTube? I'm on TikTok too right now. I don't usually stream on TikTok, but we're trying it, you know. I have to figure out how TikTok works. Oh no, I still don't know. This is Jolah Talks Politics.
Hey Jolah, how's it going?
Pretty good. I almost just choked on water. 1 second. I'm good now. What's up?
Yeah, so my main gripe, I've watched your stream a couple times, and my main gripe with it is it seems like you're just an Elon hater. Coming from someone who drives all Teslas, physics major in college.
That's gay though. I think
Homosexual
you're offended.
Or
no, just like gay, like you're a Musk
happy?
muncher. No, you're a Musk muncher. You're a Musk muncher because I don't hate Elon for any reason other than things that he does. I don't have a personal feeling about him. So do you think that like Elon Musk is a revolutionary engineer or technologist or whatever he calls himself?
Do I think he understands engineering at a deeper level than you? Yes.
No, I said, do you think he's a revolutionary engineer or technologist or whatever he calls himself?
I don't think he calls himself that, but
He
I mean, do I
does.
think
That's his
he's a
main
serious
branding.
engineer that is in the shop with engineers? And do I think all the engineers that I pay attention to respect him? Yes.
Like who? Lex Friedman?
No. Mark
What
Andreessen.
engineers? Mark Andreessen, his crypto bro. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, is Mark Andreessen not a serious engineer to you either?
He's in the PayPal mafia.
Yeah, I mean, all the people in the PayPal mafia are serious engineers, are they not?
Okay. So what technology did Elon Musk create that makes him like a Tony Stark of this current generation?
It's not about engineering. Isn't about creating. That's inventors.
Okay. What companies did he found?
He didn't found. I mean, he founded SpaceX, I believe, but I mean, that's not really what he's good at. I would say that if Elon Musk has a superpower, it is more along the lines of combining knowing the right people in Silicon Valley and knowing how to get funding for the specific initiatives that he thinks need forwarded. And he did that with Tesla. He didn't found Tesla, but he took Tesla to a height no one ever in the world probably could have done. With SpaceX, he obviously pushed boundaries. One claim you made that I see I don't know, it's just like a clickbait claim that all the lefties try to throw at him, which is funny because all the lefties used to love him before he like sided with freedom.
I really don't care. Get on with your point. I don't care.
You're very impatient.
No, just cringe. The narratives that you have to build up is cringe. Just say what you mean.
Well, I'm asking you, what do you hate about him? And all you're saying is he's not a real
Okay, make
engineer.
your point. Make your point. What were you going to say about the lefties hating
Well,
him
let's just
and
go
what's
back to
funny?
that. What do you hate about him?
Tell me what point I made that is funny to you.
Oh, that he gets tax money from people. I mean, usually if you get a lot of tax dollars, it means you're doing something to push the narrative for the people.
No, the point is that he gets tax dollars, but he villainizes government workers. That's the whole thing here. He villainizes tax dollars being used by people, but he's one of the biggest beneficiaries.
Okay, so let's go there. Do you think that the government is too big or too small?
In America, the government is actually pretty small compared to more successful countries when it comes to social mobility, like Europe. But it's a big government because it's a big country.
Too small?
Well, the federal government has been the same size for 50 years with employment. The big governments that have grown a lot are local and state governments. I could bring up the graph if you want, but like the government has maintained a relatively stable size. But yeah, I think there should probably be. I think it's probably. I don't.
So you
really
think our
use that
budget
framework.
is in line with our economy?
We spend too much money on things like healthcare because we waste money. But I mean, in general, it's pretty in line. I think saying too big or too small is kind of a dumb way to look at it. I'd rather look at policy and execution.
So you don't think there's a lot of people in the government doing nothing?
There's a lot of people in every company doing nothing, but I could bring up, like, for example,
Not in like Elon's companies.
I mean, there are a lot of people in every country doing, or in every company doing nothing. There's bloat in any big organization. There just is.
That's why you got to make cuts. That's why every successful company does make cuts.
So Elon Musk cut everyone that watches our nuclear defense arsenal. Is that a good thing?
If they're not doing it, if they're not watching it, then yeah, cut them.
Well, now they're scrambling to find them again because he accidentally fired the wrong people, and our nuclear warheads have not been properly surveyed for like 2 weeks now, or a week. So is that why did he cut them if he's so good at like cutting these people out that are doing bad things or not doing anything?
I don't think he's good at cutting people. I think there's only one way to make cuts.
No, but that was on accident, right? That was on accident, right?
Of course, you make cuts. You get a little muscle. You cut away the fat.
Okay, so governments don't really work like that because if you just like make random cuts, people might die. So for example, the Doge-led cuts also cut like 1,000 people from the veterans hotline that was meant to care for veterans and the hotline for suicidal vets.
Right. So this is another argument you made where you're like, well, he did something and someone might die. Does that mean every time someone doesn't do something, like every time the government doesn't put $1 billion towards something, people die, and that's the government's
I'm saying he's
fault
making
too?
really dumb cuts that barely affect anything to do with any budgets
Okay, I'll
anywhere
make
for
a
no
claim
reason.
then. My claim is that since the government doesn't allocate all of the dollars in the universe to healthcare, people die, and that's unacceptable. Is that a claim?
I'm
you would
saying
accept?
that he's going in unilaterally. This is supposed to be done through Congress, and I'm just saying when we talk about like bloat in the government and federal
he's
budgets,
basically an
cutting
assistant of the
1,000
president.
people that are supposed to be helping suicidal vets is probably pretty stupid. Also, accidentally firing our bird flu specialists, accidentally firing them during the bird flu, killing all the birds, and egg prices are like $10 a dozen. That's also really dumb. And also firing our nuclear arsenal
Right. And
experts
you're
is also
trying
really
to-
dumb. and you have to scramble to
You've
get them
done
back.
this several
Do you know
times
how
during
many
the stream, too, where
resources are being
you
wasted?
try to claim causation
Do you know
without
how many?
any
Do you know how many
direct
resources are
logic.
being wasted? This is okay. This is very direct, buddy. I know that you have a very, very homoerotic attraction to him, but he cut these workers. They're doing very vital jobs: nuclear warheads, suicidal veterans, and also bird flu right now, killing all the chickens for the damn eggs. They could not find them again. They have to
You think the
expend government
bird flu
resources.
experts would have
They
stopped the
knew
bird
they need to expend government resources to now track these people down, which is very inefficient. Okay, turnover is not efficient. You don't want to have
So
big
here's my
turnover.
question for
so
you, I
might
guess,
you might have some
about your
flux in
general
organizations, but you
politics
need
is
that to
like-
operate at full capacity. And when you talk about like, okay, will the bird flu experts shut down the bird flu instantly? No, but they can give guidance on how to handle the crisis for sure, and that's why
Like
other
the
countries are
COVID
doing better than we
crisis?
are. Other countries are doing better than we are because they're vaccinating their birds.
And we're not vaccinating them because we
Nope,
fired all
because
the people. That,
yes, because they put spending freezes on all of our departments that do that kind of stuff. Elon Musk did that, and that's why bird flu and egg prices are so high right now. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk bear a large responsibility for that because we're not vaccinating like other countries are.
Okay, so you think that he fired all the vaccinators, so the eggs are high?
Not all
and
of them,
you
but
can prove that through
they
causation.
gagged our health agencies.
This is just a way to.
They gagged
You're
our
just
health
pointing at
agencies.
Elon
I'm
Musk
bringing
saying
up
it's his
actual
fault.
government policy. Yes, because these are Doge-led cuts when they went into the agencies and shut them down unilaterally. Literally, yes, directly
Right.
from Musk. Yes.
I already admitted that when you make cuts, you will lose vital workers. He did this in his own company. He cut the whole supercharger team, and they ran out of superchargers. It happens. Like that's, but that doesn't mean that it's his fault that eggs are high priced. That means that he is trying to scale back the government, and there's going to be some sacrifices there.
And scaling back
Right.
the government, why is he firing people who barely make any money when it comes to the budget, all right, who do very important jobs? Why would in any world that be efficient or smart? Why would he ever do that? Why not go for programs that
Do you know
have
about
growth?
Elon's like streamlining way to automate things?
That's so gay, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're doing tricks on it. Holy crap. Oh,
No,
it's so
do you,
painful,
do you know
bro.
the methodology?
I'm not even getting into the constitutional violations, but what is the methodology? Are you gonna bring up Twitter? How he cut Twitter stuff?
No, I
and
mean I
they
won't
lost
jump into it. 'Cause
80% of
You're
their
just gonna,
value.
you're just gonna be cringe.
Don't
all
cry,
the
don't
time.
cry, don't
But
cry, don't cry, don't cry. It's okay. Don't cry, baby.
I'm you're hilarious, buddy. So the idea is that to build an efficient system, you have to step back to stage zero and say, hey, let's set this up the right way. Right. So right now we have this giant bloated bureaucracy.
Okay.
And
you don't know how.
you have to-
You cannot name one feature of this bloated bureaucracy. I'm sorry for stopping you, but can you name one thing he's making better and how he's improving it? One thing he has identified that's getting better.
He's cutting programs that shouldn't exist.
Like
What
what?
do you mean? And you could say like, well, those programs saved 2 people last year,
Ooh,
therefore they
you don't know
should
how the
exist, and
government
that's-
works. No.
that's
Tell
not
me the
case.
programs. Tell me the programs that should be cut.
I mean, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested
Oh
in
yeah. Oh, you don't have
your
any information.
ideology.
Cool. You don't have any information. You just want to talk about political.
I don't
bullshit.
run
That's
a
cool.
stream, buddy.
Oh, you don't have any information. Don't have an opinion on it then. If you don't have information, why have an opinion then?
I have Google. I mean, I can.
You just
Google it
trust
right
him.
now,
You just
but-
trust him because you love him. You don't have any opinions or have any like real valid thoughts. You can go do some
Hey,
research
we don't
and
have to
call
talk
back.
about Elon. Let's talk about Trump.
Go do some research
What-
on Elon and call back because you don't know.
I mean,
you don't
you-
know how these agencies function. You don't care about the Constitution either. I'm sure you don't care about checks and balances or anything like that. You just care about the technocracy, dumbass.
Checks and balances. Let's talk about checks and balances.
Yep.
So do you think Elon's Doge company is illegal, unconstitutional, as you claim?
Is the organization itself unconstitutional? Probably not, but the actions are, yeah.
The actions of recommending cuts for the executive branch is unconstitutional?
No, they have used security to go and take over government buildings. They changed all the employees' passwords. They have fired them unilaterally, and they have installed private servers in multiple organizations, and they have shut down USAID and the CFPB just like for funsies when that's supposed to be done by Congress.
Right, and that's not able to be done by the executive branch?
No, because Congress controls the purse, Congress controls oversight, Congress passed laws to make these agencies a thing. If you want to combine agencies or remove agencies, Congress is supposed to be doing that through law, through debating, and through actual policy
I
making.
don't think he's removing agencies.
He did shut down the CFPB and the USAID office completely. CFPB was rendered dead just for funsies because he said so when he walked in the building.
I think he cut all the employees. So I guess on the other side, would you say that us finagling in Ukraine, like without constitutionally going to war with Russia, is that unconstitutional?
We did not go to war with Ukraine.
It's a proxy war.
We passed
Can you admit
congressionally.
that? Can you
Wait,
can
wait.
you
Wait,
can you
okay,
admit
wait,
that
wait.
that's a
Let's
proxy
talk
war?
about the actual government and how it works. It's congressionally approved funding that we sent to Ukraine. That's how you're supposed to do
Right.
it.
Yeah,
it's
but when
congressionally
you
approved.
give someone if I gave you a gun and
No,
told
but that's
you to shoot your
wait,
friend,
but you said
that
I
would
don't
be
understand the
war on your
Constitution.
friend. We
No,
both
no,
know
no.
that.
Okay, no, but you said it's not constitutional. Congress approved aid funds which paid
Congress
Americans
is
to
supposed
make
to
guns.
declare war
No, we did
before we
not
can
have a
take
war.
warlike actions on a
We did
country.
not have a war or do warlike actions. Ukraine was invaded, and we supplied aid to an ally in the sense of we
gave
paid
them
American
weapons.
manufacturers to make weapons. Yeah, because
We
they're being
gave them
invaded.
weapons. Right.
They're
So if
being
I give you a gun and tell you
invaded.
to shoot them, that's not.
You
Do
are
you
not
actually
going to
think
war
this?
with that person. If you give
Right, so
aid
you
to a
actually
country that's
agree
being
with this.
invaded, you're not at war with that country. You're
You
not.
agree
You're not
that-
at war with that country. You're giving aid.
You agree
That's
that
the point of
Congress
NATO.
shouldn't have to decide
Even though
who we go
Ukraine's
to
not
war
in
with as long
NATO,
as the proxy war.
Congress approved the aid to Ukraine because of the invasion.
Right. And you agree that we can do that to the American people. We can say there's this big budget, it's just got some Ukraine stuff helping, it's fine, and we just go to war using
We
all
did
of
not go to war.
all
We
of
paid
Ukraine's people
Americans.
instead of ours.
We did not use their people. They were invaded by Russia, and we provided aid to a country being
Right, and we
invaded.
could go
did not
track
go to
down
war.
why they were invaded and what happened. And
Well, okay, why were they invaded and what happened? Since you are a geopolitical genius, tell me why they got invaded. What
I never
did,
said I
what,
was a
what did they do wrong?
geopolitical
What did they
genius,
do
but
wrong?
if I was-
Well, you have an opinion on it. You should know
if
it.
I was Putin and I drew a line in the sand and said, if you induct Ukraine into NATO, which they did, I will invade Ukraine. And then
Wait,
they
wait, wait.
did.
Okay, wait. You
so he
think that they
did.
inducted Ukraine into NATO now?
I mean,
Do you think Ukraine's in NATO?
basically, they're going to be.
Oh, so you don't know anything.
I mean,
You're
they're
talking out of
being
your
backed
ass.
by NATO.
You're
What-
shitting out your ass right now, brother. What the hell are you talking about?
Are they not being funded directly by NATO?
Oh my goodness. You said they're a member of NATO?
No, I didn't. Are they not being funded directly by NATO
Nope, not by NATO.
for a proxy war? Can you
Nope, not
admit
by
it's
NATO
a
for
proxy war?
Nope, they were invaded. They were given
Hold on. Can you
resources
admit
to
this
help
is a
fend off.
proxy
And
war?
nope, Russia invaded them. It's not a proxy war. Nope, Russia
Right.
invaded
Okay.
them.
But Russia that started the proxy war. But can you admit that it's a proxy war that the United States and NATO is going to war with Russia through Ukraine?
Nope. So we had a deal with Ukraine where if they gave up their nukes, the U.S. would provide some type of aid to them if they got invaded. That happened in the 90s, and we were just making good on that promise. So yeah, we denuclearized Ukraine.
And that's
We're
not a
giving
proxy
aid to
war to
them.
you.
Nope. Russia invaded Ukraine. It's not a proxy war. There was no war. If Russia simply stopped invading, there'd be no more fighting. Not a war. That's not how war works.
Right.
That's an invasion, not a war.
There's a difference between an invasion and a war now. I guess.
Yep. Yeah, there is
So-
a huge difference between that. Yeah, huge
I think
difference
an
between those two
invasion
things.
starts a war, but that's fine.
But
So
no,
you agree with
okay,
war.
a war would
You
be
like the
both
war.
countries are fighting until one
Hold
country
on.
wins.
Can we start
or if
there?
there's a
Do
treaty.
you like the war? You're for the war?
No, I'm not for the invasion. I think Russia should stop.
No, you're for not making peace, though, right?
I'm for making peace. I think Russia should stop. We should support Ukraine
that's not making
until Russia
peace.
stops.
You can't make peace by saying just stop.
We should give Ukraine security guarantees, which Trump is not doing. Do you think we should give Ukraine security guarantees in turn for
I think
ceasefire?
Ukraine's a corrupt bullshit country.
Oh, nice, perfect. Who do you think is more corrupt, Ukraine or Russia?
I think they're both corrupt.
Who's more
I
corrupt?
think we
if you had
should let
to-
them do what they want to do over in the corner.
Hey, who's more corrupt, Ukraine or Russia? Who would you say?
I mean, I think corrupt is corrupt. I think they're both corrupt.
Who is more corrupt? You can answer a question. You
On
have
what-
you
on
like
what
Elon
metric?
Musk. You're a genius.
Give me a
Okay.
metric.
Who is
Give me a
more
metric
corrupt in
on-
terms of
to
freedom
gauge
and
corruptness.
press? Freedom, elections, and press. Freedom of the press. Who's
You
more
think
corrupt?
elections in Ukraine are free?
Buddy, I'm asking you a very simple question.
I'm just
Who's more-
asking
who's-
you.
who's
do
more
you think
corrupt?
elections? I don't think either one of them have free elections.
But which one has less free elections?
Probably Russia. So we should
Probably
do
Russia.
war.
Okay, so you should ask. I would tell you to ask a Russian citizen if you could, but they're not allowed to really talk to us or they get killed. In Ukraine, they welcome the press of the world to come in to see what's happening. They welcome journalists to come in because they know they're trying to improve their country. The corruption left over in Ukraine is also a lagging effect from Russia trying to dominate Ukraine. A lot of the corruption there is still Russian, or the corruption there is still Russian influence. Because they just had a revolution in 2014. They have a pretty strong
What
democracy.
do you think we should do with Russia?
When considering they had a revolution in 2014 that led to the new democracy they have a pretty stable democracy for being so young.
caused it. We were,
You believe all the Russian propaganda? Holy shit!
What do
you think that Ukraine
Russian
had-
propaganda?
Yeah, Jesus, bro, what the hell?
You don't think we had a hand in that revolution?
Do we have a hand in it? I think we played.
Okay,
we had a
now
hand on
you're
both sides.
backstepping. See,
We had a hand on both sides.
You're a little gaslighter. That's what you are.
The Ukrainian
Anyway,
people,
so
the
let's
Ukrainian
move on.
people did
So
want
you're
freedom.
pro-war.
The Ukrainian people did want the revolution. I'm not saying the
You're
U.S. did not
pro-war.
provide any support at all in the process of getting back from the revolution, but the Ukrainian
This
people
has been
did
a
want a
proxy war
revolution.
from the start. That's all. That's all the
No,
U.S.
that's
does.
that's completely
The U.S.
not
goes,
true.
How do we
That's
attack
not true.
this
Do you know
country?
that? Do you know
And
Paul
now you're mad
Manafort?
that Trump's doing it directly.
Do you
Trump's
know
going
Paul?
straight
Do you
to
know
China
Paul
and going, we have
Manafort?
an issue, and you're like, oh
Do you
no.
know Paul? Do you know Paul
Trump's
Manafort, for
causing
example?
tariffs. What?
Do you know Paul Manafort?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that Paul Manafort was a Russian propagandist from 2004 to 2014 in Ukraine, paid by Russia, and that's why he was federally indicted.
Yeah.
Okay. So would that be considered, American forces supporting Russia occupying Ukraine at all?
Sure.
Okay.
They're
I
both
support the
corrupt.
Ukrainian people. The Ukrainian people did want to have a real democracy in Ukraine,
Half
and they
the
are moving in
Ukrainian
that
people
direction.
are Russian, so that means you support Russians.
Oh, you believe that too? Oh my God, you're saying the Ukrainian people
They
are
speak
Russian?
Russian.
Holy shit! Oh my God, that's crazy.
They were part of the Soviet Union, were they not?
You're doing all the memes. You got all the memes, brother.
No, I'm just asking you. This is you're trying to draw lines in the sand and saying I support these people, and a lot of them are all
Oh
the
my
same people.
God, they're the same people. Let's see. 99%, or wait, no, 95% of Ukraine's population identifies as ethnically Ukrainian.
Identifies, right?
Ethnically Ukrainian. In
Are you a big
2001,
identifies guy?
80%. 80. You just said that the people there. You do all the memes. All the
Speak
memes.
Russian. That's
all
what I
the
said.
memes.
And we're part of the Soviet Union.
So if you speak the same language as a neighboring country, they're allowed to invade you and kill your civilians and slaughter you
No,
and do war
but I'm
crimes.
saying, do you
That's what you're
feel for
doing.
the
You're
people in- do you
justifying
feel
the
for the
blood
people in
spilling
Russia that-
because of the
that
Russia
identify as Ukrainian?
imperialism. I identify with
No, I'm
all the
saying-
people in the world. Well, I don't know how many people identify
Do you
as
think the
Ukrainian
people in Russia wanna be
because
in
they're not allowed
Russia?
to speak to us. Do they get no? Probably not, because they get killed if they try to say anything. They fall off
Okay,
buildings and
so
skyscrapers in
you
Russia.
don't
Holy
feel for
shit!
them?
Vladimir
Do you feel
Putin should
for
be
them?
executed.
No, do you? Sure, of course. Do you feel for the people in Russia though?
Yeah, definitely. They're under oppressive rule. I can't talk to them, but I can talk to any Ukrainian that I want to right now. I can talk to any of them.
Right. So you, of course.
Because their democracy index is much higher for a reason,
No,
because
because
they want to
sold out
recover.
the United States, and yeah, they're like joining
Well,
NATO.
I like
Of course you
freedom.
can talk to
Freedom's good. They're much more free now than Russia is. Yes, I can talk to Ukrainians. I cannot talk to Russians. I can go be a journalist in Ukraine if I want to right now. You cannot do
We
you cannot do
agree
the
on
same in
that.
Russia. They're a dictatorship in Russia, fully the totalitarian
You're pressing a point
dictatorship
that
in
we
Russia.
agree on.
You're
Let's get to the
excusing
part
the
where we
invasion of
disagree.
Ukraine. You're excusing the
No,
invasion of Ukraine.
No.
Russia
I'm
sucks.
not.
This is from a vet. Russia does suck. I
I'm
don't know why
not.
this dumbass
I'm
is
not
defending them.
excusing the invasion.
Yeah, you are.
of
You're
Ukraine.
justifying it. You're saying
I'm
they're
saying
ethically.
that to
Do you think
point
nationality
fingers
and
only at Russia when
yes, Russia's the one that
was
invaded.
clear
If
with
Russia
their
never
intent-
invaded, and by the way, this has been a conversation for like 30 years. Why did Russia wait to
Right.
invade until
We agree.
2015 or 2014? Why did they wait to invade until 2014?
Because that's when the U.S. was pulling their bullshit,
No, that's when the revolution happened in Ukraine, because Ukraine wanted to be free from the dictatorship of Russia.
which was U.S. bullshit.
It was not U.S. bullshit. They want to be free.
Yeah, it was.
In Russia, they're not allowed to speak
You
to
can say-
anyone
I
around
mean,
the
you
world
can-
because they're not free.
You can guise it
Do
under
you think?
freedom.
Do you think the Ukrainian people who
clever way.
identify as nationally Ukrainian and ethnically Ukrainian? Do you think these people want to be under totalitarian Russian rule, where they can die falling off a building if they even criticize the government, versus what they were trying to do, which is actually
Do
a
you think
somewhat
the
functioning
Russians
democracy?
there want to?
No, they don't either. That's why Ukraine had a revolution, dumbass, because they didn't want to be a part of that totalitarian regime.
Right.
Yeah.
The Ukraine had a revolution because America enabled it.
No, because they wanted to be free from the dictatorship, dumbass. You like dictatorships, dumbass?
Duh. They, of course, they want to be everyone
dumbass. Yeah, dictatorships are bad. Newsflash, bucko.
Of course.
Dictatorships suck. Yeah, they want to know you. They wanted the revolution because the Russian puppet wanted to bring their dictatorship all the way through Ukraine and have Ukraine be a part of Russia and the new Soviet Union.
So you're trying to isolate Ukrainian people and saying Ukrainian people good, Russian people bad.
Well, Russia people, Russia people.
No,
Russia leader bad. Russia people scared and dying because Russia leader killed the Russian people.
Right. So
and
let's talk
Ukrainian
about
people
that.
did not want to get killed by the Russian leaders. That's why the Russian fighting force is so discouraged because they don't want to be fighting Ukrainians. They don't want to be fighting the neighboring countries.
Hey, what can we do to make Russia a better place? So not only Ukrainian people get to be good, but Russia gets to be good.
What do you think? How can we democracy pill Russia, buddy? Do you think we should defund NGOs that bring in independent journalism to Russia?
Warmonger thing. You
warmongering. Warmongering. Knowing how the world works is warmongering.
No, it's not.
You would have been there in World War II. Like, guys, World War II,
freedom.
dude, Germany's not planning.
Do you think war is a mechanism to enable freedom?
You're like, Germany's not planning nothing, dude. Poland's fine, dude. Germany's not planning shit. You'd have been in World War II justifying Germany's rise. Holy shit, bro.
No, I'm actually.
You would have been out there like, bro, but they're ethically German. They're white, and the Jewish, like, oh my goodness, dude, what are you on? Jesus.
No, I'm trying to get to a point, and you're like trying to. I don't know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get clicks.
If Russia. Okay, how long has Putin been president? Let's see.
35 years.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a dictatorship. We're past that point, brother.
Okay,
Listen,
how can we help Russia? How can we help them? How can we help the Russian people?
we can make peace. What did Russia ask to do?
What?
He wants to join NATO. He wants to join the good guys. We won't let him. Should we not let him? Should we let him?
Okay, so Russia's using NATO getting close to them as justification to do war crimes and just like invade countries. But you think they legitimately want to join NATO, the countries that they cannot trust to even be close to them. They want to join them, and then they're going to trust them. Is what you're saying?
What? Who says anything about trust? I'm saying, should we let him join?
No.
Why not?
Because he's a violent war criminal. We should be stopping their rise. We should not be letting them join our. Actually, they would not join NATO regardless, but still.
Stopping their rise.
Yeah, Russia hates NATO.
You
That's
think
like
they're
asking if
rising?
Russia is expanding territory and they want to overtake, like I said, the former Soviet countries.
Yeah.
When do you think Russia declared they want to join NATO? Like, when do you think?
I think it was like 2012.
No. So the possibility of Russia joining NATO, that the window that would have been possible is like after the collapse of the Soviet Union. But sadly, Russia instantly fell
No, I'm
in
talking
a matter
about
of
Putin
years.
specifically having
I know. But I'm
the
saying that the chance of joining NATO left once Putin became a totalitarian dictator and it became an oligarchy. Like once that happened, it was inherently a violent relationship, and both sides were, well, not both sides, but Russia was against NATO.
Why was
because
it a
NATO was
violent
established to avoid Russia's influence rising up again because we know what they do. Like NATO is made as a security to keep the globe more stable.
I'm done talking about the mainstream bullshit. What they
It's
say.
not mainstream. Oh yeah, mainstream is what actually happens. I forgot. Yeah.
No, mainstream is what you're reading on the like press.
But you don't know.
reports,
You
right?
don't know your ass from your.
So let's talk about what the actual motives are. What problem do you think America actually has with Russia?
What do you think?
What interest does Russia have that America disagrees with?
What?
Energy. How much energy does Russia provide to the EU?
Energy. You know that. Wait. You know that Ukraine Russia's energy is actually a reason that Ukraine did not join NATO, by the way, because Russia did not let them join NATO, and they wanted an economic deal instead with like Germany. NATO probably would have joined around like 2004 without this being a thing, which is again an example of Russia trying to stranglehold the former Soviet Union. No, because George Bush was making a push for Ukraine to join NATO, but I'm pretty sure Germany held out.
What are you saying? Germany held out?
A second.
On the vote? Why do you think there was a big push in the first Trump election to like preface and like frame his election around being a Russian puppet?
Because Russia spent money to help him win the election, and Paul Manafort, who was a paid Russian agent, was leading his campaign from 2004 to 2014. Remember that same Paul Manafort, Michael Flynn, a bunch of other guys who were involved with Russian politics. And right now, like Kash Patel is involved with Russia and China. A bunch of them are. Elon Musk is involved with Russia and China business-wise. So I mean, like Donald Trump has been ingrained with Putin and Moscow for a very long time, and Russia did spend money. That was proven they spent money to help Donald Trump win. What was not proven was collusion.
Yeah, bilateral. Why do you think that? Like, why do you think that Russia helped Trump win?
Because they knew that he was going to be easily persuaded to give up U.S. influence in Europe, probably help weaken NATO. Russia's big goal is to weaken NATO globally. That also serves some Chinese purposes as well. But yeah, Russia wants NATO weakened. If Donald Trump can stranglehold NATO and force Europe to be isolated from the rest of the world, to form their own defense mechanisms, and if the U.S. leaves with our troops, if we're out of the picture, then it's a lot easier for Russia to be expansionist.
Right. So you think the master plan is Trump pulls all the aid from NATO, NATO doesn't have a defense, Russia takes over.
It's not that simple. It's about like a steady process of weakening U.S. influence globally and making U.S. an adversary to the EU.
You can extrapolate down to the details, but I'm saying like that's the global plan.
Germany and France opposed Ukraine joining NATO in 2008, fearing it would provoke Russia and destabilize Europe. Because like when you have nuclear powered countries, it doesn't even matter how strong they are. And we're like saving Russia's economy right now too. Like Trump is saving Russia's economy. If you look at their markets as well, their currency has been collapsing for a long time. They have been losing. They have been under embargo, obviously. And now Trump is their final lifeline. So getting Trump in office is literally the entire reason Russia's surviving as a country, as any type of like relevant, somewhat superpower.
So you think Trump, hold on, do you actually think that Russia, like we should collapse Russia's economy?
If we could, definitely. Russia has been nothing but a stain on the earth, yeah.
So you would like to see millions of people in Russia in abject poverty?
No, they already are under those conditions where they can die if they even walk the wrong way. Yeah, okay. Call up someone from Russia right now and ask them their opinion on Putin, bro. Literally, if you're an opposition party leader, you get poisoned within a day. You can literally you could be a celebrity. You say something about Putin once, you're gonna be flying off a skyscraper the next morning. Like, are you kidding me, bro?
You're gaslighting, bro. Like, come on. We know about Russia. It's not Korea. Like, we know what their economy is. We know what the standard of living is.
How do you know what it's like to live there?
Google it.
Who did you hear from? Who did you hear from? Who did you hear from?
Dude,
name one journalist that showed you around Russia. Name one journalist that showed you around Russia.
Journalists don't tell you about economic trends, brother. Economists tell you about economic trends, and they can look at their metrics and tell you what the standard of living is.
I love how this conversation started with you loving Elon Musk to a large extent, but you cannot defend anything Elon Musk, so you had to transition to these talking points.
I like Elon Musk as an engineer, brother.
He's not an engineer. He's a freaking entrepreneur, venture capitalist.
No, he's not. He's an engineer. If you knew anything about Elon Musk, you'd know that.
Oh, someone said get someone else to talk to. On TikTok. Thank you, TikToker. Well, that guy made 0 points. Shut up, brother. What do journalists tell us? Dude, we know so much about life in Russia. We have economic graphs. Like, what else do we need to know about about what it's like to be a Russian civilian? I have a Bachelor of Arts in... Stop saying brother.
Door jam.
Hello?
Hey, wow, finally, you paid your phone bill. How you doing?
I didn't pay it. I'm stealing from the neighbors. Doing all right, how are you?
Oh, shit, that sucks. I hate when that happens. No, actually, I don't mind your critical thinking, bro. But how come you only have it, like, one-sided? Like, Elon bad, Trump bad, MAGA bad, everybody bad. But let's ignore the pedophile Joe Biden, the freaking Hunter Biden smoking crack with prostitutes, sleeping with his dead brother's wife, seducing and taking nude pictures
Do you
of
care
his
about
niece.
America or TMZ? Are you just like a grown man version of a Kardashian watcher? Like, what the hell are you? Are you a drama searcher? You're just going to look up drama alerts and buy tabloids? Like, what the hell do you even do?
Okay, so everything I just gave you was absolutely fact, undeniable fact.
Oh, yeah, undeniable
Okay.
fact, brother. Like
Okay,
Donald Trump
so,
being best friends
all
with
right,
P.
let me
Diddy and
rewind.
Epstein.
Okay, no, hold on. Excuse. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so your critical thinking is outstanding. Great, admire you for that. But how come
Do
when
you
it
think it's
comes to
bad that
talking
Donald
about
Trump
the other
pardoned
side,
child predators from January 6th to beat
oh,
up
you're gonna
cops?
pull this one? I already saw how you did that one, bro.
Do
It's
you
not gonna
think
work
it's
on me.
bad? Do you think it? Do you,
Yeah, absolutely.
You
I
got.
hate pedophiles. Yup.
Okay,
100%.
so it's bad. It's bad that Trump
100%.
pardoned them. It is
So
bad that Trump pardoned them.
that brings me to my point. That brings me
But do
to
you
my
agree that
point.
Trump made a mistake pardoning them, the violent January 6th criminals? See, you can't. Goodbye, bro. I'm not doing that. That's enough Trump sexuals for tonight. It's like, you can't do it. It's like, yeah, pedophiles suck. Oh yeah, okay. So, pedophiles suck. Okay. Is it bad that Donald Trump pardoned cop beaters who are also pedophiles? Well, I do tricks on it for Trump. I do tend to do gymnastics for Trump. I can't really have an opinion there. It's like, bro, shut up. Like, what the hell? No, don't call back.
Call from.
Hello?
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. I was just listening. So my question is, or actually comment is, why do you think the U.S. is supporting Ukraine in this war?
I think it makes sense from multiple different perspectives. So number one, defending a country being invaded, reinforcing the concept of national sovereignty globally is huge in being deterrent to future conflicts and future invasions. That's why NATO is a big deal. It keeps the globe more stable. You can make an argument from a humanitarian perspective in Ukraine, from a country being invaded by a dictatorship. You can talk about the geopolitics of it. It is beneficial as well. The Ukrainian people have been extremely brave. Providing weapons is the least we can do. It's a very minor impact to the American people. Actually, probably zero impact to the American people for providing, spending money, paying Americans to make new weapons for our military, sending our old weapons to Ukraine to support them is really a drop in the bucket. I know they want to blow it up to be a big thing, but that's just because they like to cry a lot. Ukrainians are fighting for their lives, literally, and Americans want to bitch and I don't say that word. Want to complain constantly like little babies. But yeah, it also makes sense for geopolitics in a sense that it helps weaken Russia. Of course, it's beneficial from like out of every foreign policy endeavor that we could be funding, this is probably the most just one I can think of when it comes to Israel or Saudi Arabia. Like when it comes to anyone we trade arms with. Or give aid to. I could say this is probably the most like just situation I can imagine being even like humanly possible.
Yeah. So I have no issue with supporting Russia. Obviously, I'm against invasion. I'm definitely not, But my thing is, if it's definitely not humanitarian reasons, right? Or democracy or anything like that. It's definitely 99% is interest, right? Our own national interest, right?
Well, it's also our
Because-
national interest to defend democratic norms globally and to defend sovereignty globally, not just to weaken Russia, but to defend sovereignty and also to uphold our we helped denuclearize Ukraine as well with nuclear to get nuclear weapons out of Ukraine. So that also, I would say, a national responsibility makes sense there as well.
Yeah. So what do you think? Why are we not supporting? Then, if it was just humanitarian, then what's going on in Gaza? What do you think that is? Is it? Do you justify that? Do you think that's justified? What's going on in
You
Gaza?
mean like funding Israel?
Yeah.
No. So talking about fully moving people out of their land, occupying it, and building casinos and hotels there, I was hesitant for a long time to say genocide along the path here because I feel like I reserve words like that for the extremes. But I think we're getting close to that extreme. Because if you call it genocide at the beginning and you call it genocide now, it doesn't really show the escalating intensity. But now we're just getting to the level of human atrocity. So it's hard to. So violent occupation turn to ethnic cleansing if they don't let it's just. Yeah, funding Ukraine or funding Israel without having restrictions on arms, being weak on them is definitely bad.
Yeah, it's not this. It's not just this administration that's supporting it. It's this administration that's the other one doing it. The only president I ever remember, I'm not that old, so but reading about it was Jimmy Carter, right? The only president I actually had some stance on, it's on humanitarian purposes. Like, we should Palestinians should have their own sovereign country. Yeah, we should have a two-state solution. Every president usually talk about it, right? So here, we need two-state solution, but we definitely have a sway in that. We can definitely make that happen if we want to, right? Because we're the sole under of Israel, right? So obviously, I'm definitely not saying that we shouldn't support Ukraine, because if a country is being invaded, regardless of what, if our national interest that's a plus, right? But then we still have, if we're supporting a just cause, I'm definitely for it, because I don't want innocent Ukrainians getting killed or their sovereignty being threatened by Russia. And if they take Ukraine today, then tomorrow it's going to be Poland, the next day it's going to be
if you appease them, you have to stand strong to the countries like this, because they'll just bulldoze the entire region if you don't stop them. Like, they're not going to stop. If Trump appeases Russia now, or he's not even appeasing Russia, he's giving Russia whatever they want. They're going to keep on going. Their intention is to occupy the former Soviet Union. They're going to keep on doing this until they get that goal. They have nothing else to chase after except that. Thank you for the call. The audio is kind of choppy and disconnecting. I do appreciate the call. Thank you for calling in. I hope to see you in the chat and everything, and I hope have a great night. Oh god, the audio quality is so bad, and my viewership dropped during that call. Woohoo! All right. Make sure you drop a like on the stream, hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you want to guarantee a call, you can donate $10 to Catch Up. If you want to guarantee a call, donate $10 to Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. $10 to Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. To Jolah Politics. Okay? If you want to donate to the show, this is my third job. Okay? Please help make it my second job. Please donate to those links or the coffee link you see for text-to-speech donations, as well as become a channel member. Become a channel member for $3 a month. Thank you.
Call from
Julia Rojas.
Hello.
Hey, this is Julia. Can you hear me?
Yep. What's up? You're live.
Not much. How you doing?
Pretty all right. Good late night here. Wrapping up some calls. Yeah, what do you want to chat about?
So, on a broad level, if you think that Trump is bad, right, which is like your whole argument every night, what do you think what's the what's the motivation then, right? Okay, so on the opposite side of the aisle, we have Americans thinking that Democrats want to essentially destroy America from within, right? That's their whole argument. And so, like, what do you think Trump's motivation, like, what is his motivation?
So the Democrat argument against them is just like conspiracy fuel. Like there's no evidence of, like a lot of the heavy immigrant states for immigrant laborers, for example, are red states, like the Springfield, Ohio, with the protected Haitian immigrants, like the Republican governor, Republican mayor, Republican business, etc. There's no trend where Democrats are like trying to switch states. If anything, like why would they care about making, like, I don't know, New York more blue or California more blue? It just doesn't make much sense, and you can't even vote if you're not documented anyway in federal elections. I'm sorry, what was the question about Trump again? Sorry.
Okay, so what is the overarching motive? Like, okay, if he's bad, right? What's his motive, right? He's like, at least with Doge, they're getting rid of a bunch of government agencies, right? Do you think that's like the main? Like, you're saying all this is fake, though, right? Like, which I'm just saying, like, okay, I'm not going to disagree. Let's assume it's all fake. What's the end state then? What's the benefit of him wrongfully terminating agencies and, I guess, reducing the government spending? What are your thoughts on that?
If you look at where they are trying to delegitimize the government or take it apart, it's in areas that prevent corruption. So like the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, USAID helps America with soft power globally. So that really benefits China if we pull that back. Elon Musk has a lot of business with China and Russia, so we can only connect pieces there. Tesla did say they're a proud socialist company. They reinforce the socialist values of China. So Elon Musk does data sharing and intel sharing with China. So that's a big security concern for me. And in general, removing these agencies and bureaucracy makes it easier to corrupt the executive branch. Bureaucracy is an anti-corruption mechanism. Mussolini railed against bureaucracy as well because it made it harder for him to maintain dictatorial power over the state, over whatever the executive is in that system. So the bureaucracy is an extension of Congress. Congress passes a law that makes an agency. Now Congress has oversight in the executive, and also power of the purse, how you fund these agencies. The executive branch constitutionally needs to constitutionally faithfully carry out the laws Congress passes, and the overlap of the bureaucracy works really well. You want career civil servants. You want them. They help fight against corruption because, like I always say, you have a mix of Reagan officials, you have Bush, you have Clinton, you have you have Bush again, you have Obama, Trump, then you have Biden, then you have Trump. And in this administration, which is really weird, they are now labeling Scalia and Roberts clerks, prosecutors, judges, justices, very far right justices, as far left liberal judges if they rule against Trump. Trump is eliminating people from the federal government that he himself appointed if they are not loyalists, if they say they put the Constitution above serving Donald Trump. And I will say this is also the first time that any cabinet appointee has refused to say they put the Constitution first over the president. No, like usually the standard response is, of course, if the president does something unlawful or wants me to do something unlawful, I will resign or I will deny the orders. That's always been the answer. In this administration, 7 of his cabinet appointees said, or they refused to say they'd put the Constitution and the law above Trump. And now Trump, as president, is ignoring court orders and posting things such as the one who saves his country is bound to no law, or whatever that quote is. So all those things together, they're taking the government apart in the areas where they limit corruption, where they regulate big banks, where they regulate big corporations, and they're maintaining the parts of government that do house some corruption. So yeah, that's why, like, when they talk about the budget, there's no reason to go after the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau first with the budget, because that agency costs like $650 to $700 million a year. It's existed since 2010, and in that 15 years, it's returned $21 billion back to Americans from Americans that have been screwed over by big companies. And it also keeps companies honest because they are the police. They're the anti-corruption police. Why kill that agency in your second day? Why would Elon Musk do that? Probably because Elon Musk has a lot of friends in finance and he's very rich. He does not want that agency to be regulating companies, especially if they intend to make more money, from Americans. And that makes up 0.001% of the budget. It makes 0 sense. They return more money back to the Americans than it actually costs to run. So for all of those reasons, and that's only domestic policy. I'm not even getting to cutting, veterans, crisis hotline people, cutting our health experts, and trying to bring them back for the bird flu, cutting our nuclear warhead specialists and trying to bring them back, or our nuclear arsenal specialist out by accident, trying to bring them back, scrambling all around, doing all this crazy stuff, randomly freezing programs around the country, just domestically, and that's not even getting into foreign policy. But yeah, that's my whole view on that. So thank you for asking that, because I got a good clip out of that.
Yeah. So okay, but so you're thinking that there's no existence of fraud, waste, and abuse in the government, and you do wholehearted. Okay, so humans inevitably can become corrupt, right? And this is keeping everything very high level.
There definitely is fraud and waste for sure.
Would a government? Why on earth? I mean, government's composed of people as well that are absolutely corruptible. I mean, you can point at things, and this is both on both sides of the aisle, both Republicans and Democrats. Like, so many senators, so many congressmen come in with a very modest, and it's not very modest, but let's say 6-figure salary, right? And they're all millionaires. And there's so much they know law, so of course.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you. I'm sorry. But I see this everywhere. Okay. So when we look at these politicians, they lie about the numbers. When Elon Musk posts that, how much do you think AOC's worth?
Maybe 4 or 5 million. She's one of the lesser wealthy senators, or sorry, yeah, she's not as wealthy as.
Yeah,
she's not
so she's a young House member. She takes no money from anywhere else except from her salary. Okay, so Elon Musk spread a post saying that she's worth $40 million. She's actually worth $50,000. Okay, she had a lot of student loans she paid off. She's worth $50,000 after being in Congress that long. So a lot of these numbers are lies. Elizabeth Warren is worth $12 million, I think, because of she was a really esteemed professor, consultant. Her husband was as well, and from book sales. You can trace back where all these politicians make their money at. I saw someone say Chuck Schumer has $100 million. He has barely $1 million in his financial disclosures. Meanwhile, politicians like Mike Johnson and Donald Trump refuse to release their finances at all. But there's never anyone bringing up conspiracy about them. And when we talk about waste and fraud and corruption in government, nothing Doge brings up is under those categories, which makes me inherently distrustful of them, because when they do show numbers, they're usually either lies or they completely misunderstand how the spreadsheet or the data set works when it comes to Social Security, because they just said, oh my God, they said there was $4 trillion of untraceable Social Security payments to people that are 300 today, and it's just untrue.
Okay, look, this is just being devil's advocate, but looking at Elizabeth Warren, if I just did a simple Google search, I'm coming up with 7.8 million. I'm coming up with 73 million. I'm seeing 4.7 million. And then I'm seeing on the low end, actually, no, I'm not seeing anything lower than several millions of dollars for Elizabeth Warren. And so, why do you think that, or what makes your access to information more superior than these 5 or 6 websites? And how do I know where to get accurate information? You only think that. So
the one with $73 million says no on it. There's a fact check. The only ones that are credible are between $8 and $12 million. So I said $12 million, and I just go through all the
12 million. Yeah.
I might be wrong about Chuck Schumer. I think I was wrong about Chuck Schumer. Yeah, I was thinking about someone else other than Chuck Schumer when I said that, I think. Wait, let me check.
But it's really difficult to get accurate information, right? I mean,
yeah, but this isn't where you look for corruption at all. This is just the fact. Okay, Elon Musk shared this. Okay, this is when he shared. He said Nancy Pelosi's worth $202 million. That's not true. She's worth $100 million, which is still a lot, but she has a real estate empire. So does her husband since 50 years ago. McConnell worth $95 million. Chuck Schumer worth $75. Elizabeth Warren worth $70 million. Elon Musk shared this last week on February 17th. It was just 2 days ago. Oh my God. I thought it was last week. Holy shit. They're breaking our brains. But yeah, it's
But my question to you is like, I mean, what if your idea is that all this is a lie? Why is your information more?
It's not that it's a lie. It's just
like,
stupid because there's
valid?
financial disclosures. They do financial disclosures. We can look up this
They
information.
do financial disclosures, sure, but they don't have to, and they don't have to report everything.
I'm sorry, but nothing.
Trump's
Okay,
gotten away with it,
this
but-
has nothing to do with the function of government at all. Like we could talk about like, I mean, I'm not even bringing
Well,
up like
in a
Trump's
way
meme
it does,
coin or the
right?
money that
If we're
Trump, like
talking
Jared Kushner made $2 billion and he got a $2 billion investment from Saudi Arabia after leaving the White House. Like we could talk about those things too, being actual like direct connections to foreign governments giving money to the son-in-laws of President Trump or President Trump's meme coin. We could talk about that, but like we don't even need to talk about that. We talk about Doge. Like this is what I mean though. Doge is getting us to talk about the most bullshit, dumb shit in the world. Like this has nothing to do with like the function of government or making government run more efficient or cutting down on waste. And it just like we're having these conversations about these pop topics.
Like on a broad level, bringing it back to the broad level, you're saying that government officials, like more government is better, more bureaucracy is better because
not always
it reduces corruption. But
no, it's not always more. It's when you go in as a president, being able to unilaterally fire the entire bureaucracy and install your own loyalists. That is an attempt at corruption and pure, just like that is an attempt at trying to corrupt the. But that's what Trump has been doing. He's been doing loyalty tests. He wants to fire every FBI agent that even worked on January 6 cases, and they did not choose to do this. But he wants to fire every FBI agent that even worked on a January 6 case. Like they want to make a completely loyalist executive branch. That's the thing with bureaucracy. That's why they're attacking bureaucracy, because bureaucracy is a regulatory state on the most corrupt people in society. Bureaucrats never think about like unless if you're making a program to help Americans. Like I know them, they're making less money working in the public sector because they're a policy dork. You know, they want to help people. And most of these organizations, most of the people just want to like be civil servants. And they're there for a long time. And our bureaucracy is like 40% retired vets. They're cutting a lot of vets right now who are just like having decent lives, working stable jobs after deployments or after they're done with their time in service. And Musk is calling them the deep state bureaucrats. It's funny that the richest man in human history is somehow the savior, and the corrupt people are the random military vets that are working for the Department of Health or whatever.
So you think, what do you think the end state is then, right? So it's to basically create a government that's entirely loyal to Trump. You think he wants to be a dictator? Is that what you think? Like,
they have this plan written down.
So
So there's Project 2025. So Project 2025 is to kill the federal government and to kill government in general. But J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel is a billionaire, if you know who he is. He funded J.D. Vance's entire career. He's the reason that J.D. Vance was picked as VP. They handpicked it for Trump. He didn't even like J.D. Vance. And then he doesn't even, you can tell right now he doesn't like J.D. Vance. If you look up Peter Thiel Praxis, if you look up Peter Thiel Curtis Yarvin, they believe that they should kill democracies globally to reinstate what they call techno-monarchies or corporate states. So their end goal is to kill democracy, kill all types of bureaucratic and bureaucracy, kill every type of government to reestablish governments as new corporations that are ruled by CEOs called like techno monarchs. Musk believes in this. Peter Thiel believes in this. Mark Andreessen believes in this, and they feel that they are like the gods of this society. They even say that they're building AI. They say that AI is like God to them. Like they're building God by making AI. And if you look up Praxis, Peter Thiel's involved in as well, which is a really scary system. I know Elon Musk, this is why Elon Musk concerns me with China as well. They want, like China has this system where they could surveil you 24/7. They know exactly where you are every second. They have your biometrics tracked instantly. He wants a satellite network to do that for the entire globe. Like Musk has talked about this. And that's what I think the ultimate end goal is, by killing bureaucracy, killing democracy, and killing freedom, and then using the world kind of collapsing as a reason to institute like Patriot Act times 50 or times whatever number you want to say, and to make the government completely ruled by whoever can buy their way into the highest positions. Like money in politics has been an issue for a long time. But now they want it to be only dictated. So like labor unions used to have play, teachers unions, public servants, people that vote, protesters, police unions, etc., military. They had play in politics, and then big money was too much of an influence. But they want big money to be the only influence, and they made their plans very, very, very clear in a lot of these podcasts and the articles they do. Curtis Yarvin is their ideological leader. His articles are actually really scary because they do want. That's why they support like the AfD in Germany. They want these chaotic factions to rise up in these democracies to make the democracies like fracture, and to make people hate the system to the point where they make it collapse. But it's never going to be something more free to end. Like this is the intended goal: is the system to fail.
Interesting. I've not heard of this theory before. Techno monarchy. Okay.
The mainstream media is too scared to cover it, but you can look up like Peter Thiel has conferences on this, and the mainstream media does not cover it. Like JD Vance has talked about this, modeling us after Hungary, which is also like a surveillance state. But somehow, even the liberal mainstream media, because they're also corporate controlled, does not talk about this. There's a lot of good videos on this.
So what's your ideal? Like, what's your ideal government then? More, I think if we had. What about like globalization? Are you for or against that?
I think trade deals are fine and they follow free market principles. My big concern is that we get money out of politics and we make it as I think our Constitution is the best document to ever exist. I want to reestablish our constitutional principles, get money out of politics, and then encourage governments like that around the world to thrive and support those governments, which also scares me because Trump hates Canada, he hates the EU, he hates he hates Mexico, which is a better democracy now than it was 20 years ago. Like they're actually getting a lot better as a country in Mexico with their systems. He hates those countries, but he loves Saudi Arabia and Israel and Russia and China. He loves those countries, bro. You cannot get enough of those countries.
I wonder if it's more of a like just to establish like just playing devil's advocate, right? To establish just to have a good relationship with them because they are a threat with their nuclear capabilities. The best thing we can do is get along with them, right?
Yeah, but why are we saying that like the EU is the enemy right now, or like that Canada is the enemy, or Mexico is the subject of our trade wars? Like,
I don't know if he
doesn't
said
make sense to
Canada
me.
was the enemy though. Like, are they the enemy? Like,
dude, he's been talking about taking Canada as the 51st state for weeks, bro. About what?
But yeah, but he's been I've heard that, but he's been stating like that we've been subsidizing them, similar to how we would like subsidize like an underperforming state. Like,
oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't know how trade deficits work. He says subsidies, but it's actually a trade deficit. But trade deficits are not actually bad. In fact, if you're a wealthy country, America consumes a lot, so we're gonna have a lot of trade deficits. So like Canada has 38 million people. We have 300 million people. We consume a lot of things. So Canada sells to us. But it's a mutualistic relationship. We get cheap goods, we pay them. It's like going to a business and buying from Walmart instead of Target. We have these trade deals favorably with Canada, and it benefits both countries. So the trade deficit Trump talks about that we're subsidizing them is literally just the trade deficit. But it's good to have a trade deficit typically because that means you're a wealthy country that could buy a lot of stuff from your trading partners. Yeah, that doesn't really mean anything about being good or bad.
I don't know. Like I under like. It's like kind of like keeping it on a broad, like your trade should balance, and yeah, if you consume more, but so the goods that they produce, they can produce it at a cheaper rate that we can produce it in, within our own country. So despite consuming more, like it's still a net benefit because we could consume just as much and keep the production internal and within our own country, but it costs us more money than to just have it done. And then in return, we can produce a good or a service cheaper within the U.S. and sell it to Canada, and then the trades kind of balance out. But when you have the deficit is negative because you might be in it, like in some instances, like purchasing, like I know, like in Canada, they could purchase their own fuel cheaper. However, there was like some kind of ban on, and this, I don't remember all the facts, but there was some kind of ban on the refineries or regulation that made it very difficult to refine.
Like the Keystone Pipeline, right?
Like being able to keep it internal, they had to purchase it from the U.S. and then it created,
But that's been mutualistic for us. That's been helping both countries because, like, the Keystone Pipeline, everyone complains about that comes from Canada, which is why, like, when Trump threatened tariffs, he said 25% tariffs on every good, but 10% on energy because he knew it was going to increase energy costs. But that's one reason we have a trade deficit is largely, I'm guessing, oil. We got a lot of paper from them, a lot of trees, a lot of syrup, that kind of a few other resources from Canada. So like it benefits both countries. And I would also say when Trump complains about the trade deals with Canada and Mexico, he's literally the one that negotiated it. We had NAFTA. He said it sucked. Then we had the USMCA, which Trump negotiated, and he literally said like a week ago, "Man, this trade deal is so bad. I don't know who negotiated this." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. It's so okay, but it's like really interesting because this is the problem with like America right now is we're like so divided, right? Like it's like, you know, if you find someone like it's like you see it with the last like 3 elections have been very, very, very close, and you know, a lot of people are like deeply. It's like when you're like super aligned with either right or left, like they really do view the other side as the enemy.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but like today, for example, Donald Trump said about Ukraine, it's their fault for getting into the war with Russia. Russia fought for this land. A lot of people died. They deserve to keep it. It's Ukraine's fault they didn't resolve this war earlier that they got into. So like when Trump is taking such a pro-Russian position to the point where he's distorting reality to favor Russia, I would say he's an enemy to America. Like I'm fine being in complete opposition to anyone that supports that statement, even if you support Trump. Like if you support that statement, that is the most anti-America thing. I said earlier that Ronald Reagan would punch you in the face if you said that about Russia invading Ukraine. Like it's insane. Like I cannot believe that he's able to say that and people just think it's fine, and that shows the polarization.
Have you gone
like,
through the whole history of that though? Like, have you like dug into like the history of like the entire like border conflict? Like, if you go back to like its original state, I think the region of Russia, the region that Russia took over was originally Russian territory.
Bro, the White House today posted an ASMR illegal alien deportation flight video, bro. An ASMR deportation video. Like, you should not be celebrating this kind of thing as a form of entertainment. It should be like a difficult thing you do because you need to help like maintain a structure.
I don't think that's
I'm
right
just saying.
either,
I'm just saying they posted an ASMR. I know people think it's funny and everything, but it just shows how degraded our culture is in America. It's vile. It's subhuman to even enjoy or even to make a video like that. It's just like there's no comparison at all in this situation. And like with Russia and Ukraine, I don't even care. Like Russia invaded Ukraine illegally and has done a lot of really heinous things. And I understand there's been border disputes and after the Soviet Union and everything. But regardless, we had our sovereign lines, and Russia infringed on those, and now the U.S. government, dude, just watching this. Man, I can't believe this shit's real, dude. But yeah, I mean, if the polarization between that and this, then I mean, I'm okay with being on this side. I'm okay with being in staunch opposition to whatever the freak. This is not conservatism. That Trump is not a conservative.
But here's what I'm saying. Like, this is fine. I mean, you're welcome to, like you're passionate about what you believe in and whatnot. But you got to think like realistically, like as passionate as you are about where your stance, other people that have gotten like different sources, because there's plenty of information online that is in contrast to what you believe in, right? And you can't blame them for. I mean, a lot of the times, like when you start to take a stance on a certain side, it's confirmation bias. Like you'll continue to look for information that's going to support your view, and you got to think that someone else is going to do the same thing as you, right? And like, here's the crazy part, because you're talking about, and I agree with you, like, China is definitely going to capitalize on like us, like pulling out from like kind of building relationships with different nations. But more than anything, like, dude, if you look at interviews, and this might be like propaganda, but I don't think so. You can go and dude, the Chinese people, and I'm not saying it's a good country, right? I'm not saying I agree with this, but they are so united. Like they're willing to self-sacrifice for their government, working
in China?
ungodly amounts of hours, huh?
In China, they don't have a choice. They're forced to do that. It's forced labor camps.
And I'm not saying
essentially.
it's good, right? I'm not saying it's good.
But they're not dedicated to the
they're-
government. They live in a totalitarian state where they need to do it or they get killed, basically.
But have you seen the progress? How wealthy they've become? Like, is it like
yeah, the
their
country's
GDP is-
wealthy, but so were we during the Gilded Age when like 1% had all the wealth. Like most of China's a slave state, pretty much.
Okay, but here's the thing, and I'm not saying it's good, but don't you? I think they're prepped to dominate the world in the
I
way
agree,
that they're structured.
and Trump is rolling out the red carpet for him right now.
Sure, but this kind of dialogue doesn't unite people, right? And
I'm not uniting around dehumanizing other people. If we unite around that, we're completely screwed. Like I'm not uniting around that. I just can't do
not
it.
that. But when you become like, what is the solution, right? Because again, back to my original thing, there's people that sit on the opposite side of the aisle as you that can pull facts. You're very good at like, retaining all these facts, right? That can do the same, like Ben Shapiro, for example. He can pull facts right and left.
I can debunk Ben Shapiro easily, but there's a difference between facts and sounding convincing, though. Like we have facts, we have a shared set of reality, but then some people have these alternative facts. Like it's a big differentiation there.
But what are you so certain about that? Where you're getting your information from is the truth.
All right, so like for example, Russia and Ukraine, right? Russia, I cannot talk to a Russian citizen. If a Russian citizen expresses to me that they support Ukraine, they get thrown off a building the next day, all right? In Ukraine, they are begging journalists from around the world to come in to examine their political process, to examine the war efforts, to examine their democracy, because they just had a revolution a few years ago, and now they're being invaded. They want the world to come in to see what's happening in Ukraine. They want the visibility, and Russia is not legal. So I can take intuitively off of those known factors. Okay, well, Ukraine, if there is corruption, it's because they were trying to separate from Russia, and Russia's been trying to fight that forever, installing their own like puppet leaders, which is why they had a revolution. And then we have a system where, okay, well, Ukraine is open to democracy, open to the West, open to joining NATO. They want to be a part of the democratic process. They want to be a part of these free governments and these free systems, but Russia is holding them back. So I can see, okay, well, Russia invaded them. I can trust information more so on the side that gives complete transparency. Meanwhile, Russia, they're spending money to help leaders like Trump win. So Trump can help roll the red carpet out for them to overcome countries like Ukraine. So I could take those.
But didn't they investigate that and determine that not to be true? That whole Russian collusion?
So yeah, okay. So the Russian, you are correct that the Russian collusion was not proven. So like for example, like Trump working directly in a coordinated way with Russia to like have a combined campaign. But it was 100% proven that Russia did try to get Trump elected. They did spend money, and they have been they spend money in shell companies to help get Trump elected. Even if Trump was not proven to be working directly with them, it did prove that Russia saw Trump as the leader that would be best for their interests. Like Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, a few other commentators in that vein were proven, and they even admit that they were being funded by Russian shell companies, but they just said that they were not aware of it.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, it is because I mean, as much as like all these like things that you're pointing out on the conservative side or Republican side, you find all kinds of stories on like incredible corruption on the other side as well. I mean, what about like, the Hunter Biden laptop? Do you think that's just propaganda and that's not true at all?
So the idea that it had anything incriminating to do with Joe Biden is not true. The idea that it had that it existed, is true. And then it has like Hunter Biden doing weird things on it is true. But like with the Burisma money scandal whistleblower guy, that guy was federally indicted and he admitted that he lied about that story. So like you could have parts of it be like, okay, it existed, but it was not the grand like scandal that they made it out to be. Or Republicans would have went further on those investigations if they did find something substantial, but they did not.
Well, like a big part of it too that they were saying, at least on the conservative side, was that it was like that. I think it was either the FBI or CIA was basically like speaking with, I don't know, like Zuckerberg and basically telling him that he needed to silence anyone that like published anything related to the laptop. You think that's not true?
That was not true at all. The Hunter Biden laptop story. So the actual report and the information we do have, not just from like Zuckerberg bullshitting, the FBI would not confirm or deny that the laptop was real or not. They did warn that there was some misinformation coming out from Russia, but they did not confirm or deny if the laptop was valid or real. The laptop story was off Twitter for like 24 hours. It was put right back up, but the idea that like the FBI instructed social media companies to take that offline, that never happened. And someone in chat did bring up that the Russian collusion, I believe, was that like Roger Stone? Multiple people pled the fifth, and there were obstruction of justice charges, and then were pardoned by Trump later on in that Russian collusion case. So it never got to go forward. But like I said before, we know Russia was pushing for one side, but we just don't have the definitive proof that they were working with the campaign directly. But yeah, on the topic you just said, yeah.
Yeah, it's real interesting. I mean, it's like, it's just hard to know what to believe as true.
Yeah, that's the goal, though. That's the goal for everyone. Even if you think some people are controlled opposition, they want to make it as difficult as possible to differentiate information, because then we can't really come together on anything. We just keep on fighting over what the facts are. Then we fight over. There's a reason they focus on social issues, right? They focus on a lot of social issues to turn our attention away from a lot of the economics and a lot of the where money's actually going. There's some people stealing money from our system that are probably lying about, like sometimes people that are doing the crime are the people calling out the crime because they want to like take attention away from themselves. So like it's hard to track all of this stuff, but the best we can do is, I would always say, best practice: see information, take a deep breath, take a step back, think about how likely is this to be true, what sources are available. But it's so sad because people are not willing to do that. People see this stuff on social media, they accept it instantly, and they're ready to like go on a literal riot. Like Musk said the other day that like $4.7 trillion were untraced, and someone said there should be people hung over this. And then it came out that he got the numbers wrong the next day. And Social Security's fraud rate is actually lower than any private insurance company. So like Social Security's fraud rate is 0.83%, I'm pretty sure, of false payments, and that's much better than any private insurance company. But like, you could just hear random shit spread on Twitter and people believe it right away because they want to, and they'll get pissed about it. Like, and that goes for anything on the internet nowadays.
So what would your solution be for, like, as far as like the immigration issue with immigration? What would your solution be to that?
Expand our ability to see immigration cases. If someone is here as like a visa overstay, never commit an actual crime. That's a civil infraction. Or if you're a dreamer, I would give a very clear path to citizenship, especially if that person's been living here for 15 or 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever. Perfectly clean record, supporting their families. Yeah, path to citizenship, continue being an American taxpayer. They've been paying taxes into the American system for a while with their individual taxpayer number. Allow them to benefit and be represented in the system, I would say. When it comes to violent crime, focus all efforts on violent crime and actual illegal immigration. And make it very clear to the public what the difference is between asylum seekers and illegal immigration. Reagan had good talks on this topic that would make Donald Trump call him a liberal, probably, the way Reagan talked about immigration. So yeah, I think that's the most common sense way to deal with that. It's a lot cheaper. It's a huge benefit to our economy to do a path to citizenship for those people. And it also is a lot cheaper than deportations. And I would also continue working with Mexico. Biden got a $1.5 billion investment from Mexico in 2022 for border security, and that plan is coming to fruition now. It was a 2-year plan. That's why Biden's final 6 months of border crossings were able to eventually rival pre-pandemic numbers. But Biden never got credit for that because he just got blamed with the post-pandemic surge in inflation and immigration, which was going to happen regardless on who was in office. But setting up checkpoints, working with other countries like Mexico, and Biden getting $1.5 billion from Mexico in 2022 after like Trump was not able to get any money for like a wall or anything, without threatening tariffs. It just shows that diplomacy can work. We have mutualistic things, we have trade deals, we have ways we can work with countries that don't require violence and causing conflicts with different countries. And I just hope we don't They keep on bringing up the Golden Age and Gilded Age. I really hope we don't go back to the 1800s. It's extremely violent and bloody and chaotic. I really don't want to live in a new form of freaking feudalism or whatever with empires and crypto states and whatever else. I kind of like life,
Don't you think
I
what
want to live
keeps
in
that though is sorry for cutting you off, but don't you think what prevents that is a reduced government and more power to the people? Wouldn't you think that? Wouldn't you think
No,
that?
not at all.
You don't think so?
More power to the
Huh.
people, yes, but not reduced government. So like our founding fathers made our government with a monarchy in mind, and they knew we needed a strong government, a big, strong government in some senses, but for the people and by the people. That's the key part we are missing out. The two-party system is an issue, and money in politics. If we got rid of two parties and money, if we got rid of money in politics and the two-party system, it doesn't matter what size the government is. What matters is the government is huge. The government should be huge in the areas where it protects people and their freedoms. It should be huge in limiting corporate corruption, because that's the shadow government. Too much big money in one area can also be a threat to freedom. It should be huge in those areas.
Yeah.
It should be small in restricting freedoms.
But
It should
what
be
ends up
small in
happening
limiting
is
small businesses.
Yeah, I mean, those corporations have lobbyists and ways to which they can donate to special interests and
Yeah, we need to cut those out. But then we have the Citizens United. We have the money is speech ruling, so we have to get that overturned somehow. Pass legislation that bypasses that, because we have all this dark money spent in elections. Like the campaign financing isn't even the interesting part; it's all the dark money we can't even really account for in these elections. So yeah, get money out of politics. Maybe publicly financed elections. Maybe the founding fathers never intended for corporations. They never intended for huge money influences in politics. They never intended for modern media, and they never intended for a strict two-party system like today. Even political parties, Democrats and Republicans in the 1900s, like 1950s, 60s, and 70s, it was not just like Republican and Democrat like it is today. Like Nixon did the EPA. Like there was such diversity even within these parties before, but now it's complete just in lockstep, probably because of social media. So we need ways to combat the areas that are eroding our system. And I feel like when people complain about the bad parts of government, in my opinion, because I lean towards more of like a social democracy model, especially because like I feel that many things people hate about government, they hate about it because private influences either force it to fail, or private influences corrupt it to the point where it cannot help the American people, or that it serves those corrupt interests over the American people. So getting money out of politics can fix a lot of these problems that we see with the government.
I agree with. I definitely agree with that. It's just, what about? This is the last question. What are your thoughts on like the Federal Reserve? Have you done a lot of research into that?
The Fed is a difficult conversation. I think it's good to be independent from politics, but it's one of those systems where it's imperfect, but it should be in the president's best interest to appoint someone who's good at their job to keep the economy stable. Keeping that process non-political is difficult. It is definitely a necessary mechanism. I know some people want to use an algorithm. Some people want to use a certain a bunch of different tools for it. I don't know too much about the Fed. I am concerned with the power of the American dollar, especially I do see cryptocurrency as a scheme to undervalue or to undercut the American dollar, while also prepping up the BRICS currency, which Donald Trump doesn't even know what countries are a part of BRICS. But I do see crypto as a way to devalue the American dollar, and that's why a lot of crypto bros say like the fiat dollar is failing. So that, I mean, I have a lot of people in my Discord that have opinions. If you join Discord, if you have Discord, in our Discord, there's guys in there right now talking that would have an opinion on on the Fed. A lot of libertarians in there have really strong opinions on the Fed. So,
yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think it's I've seen the good and the bad, but mostly bad as far as the Federal Reserve goes. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, with this current economic cycle, though, like after the pandemic, America was the #1 country globally after the pandemic. We had a very soft landing. Okay, as one of my finance people in Discord says, a very soft landing after the pandemic. Our inflation rate actually maintained a relatively stable mark, especially with all the spending that was done through Trump and Biden, because Trump accounted for like 25% of our nation's total debt, and then Biden spent a lot on the American Rescue Plan and a couple of the other bills, which I love the infrastructure plan. I love the manufacturing spending with the chips of science and all that stuff. But yeah, the Fed did a great job managing the past few years economically, without having a true recession. After COVID was pretty impressive. So I mean, it's still a mechanism that I think.
You see how much into we released into the economy? Like the money supply had shot through the roof, and that's, I mean, any economist would argue that's like a big reason why we have so much inflation.
Yeah, we also have all-time high credit card debt by like 500% over what the original all-time high was. So the all-time high credit card debt probably drove inflation as well. Americans are spending more money on DoorDash and sports and whatever else than ever before.
But all that goes into supply, creating more debt, more supply, more monetary supply. And when the economy is not growing at the same, at least like in proportion to the growth of like monetary supply, that's where, like on a very simple way of like explaining why there's so much inflation. But
with like supplying goods,
like, you think the stimulus check, so you think that was a good idea, releasing all that money to the economy?
It's hard to say. You can argue that would drive inflation more than the other policies, but I think it was a Band-Aid fix for the time. I think it was probably still worth it. Our economy still, we had a great recovery from COVID. Like, we still had a really good recovery.
One more thing, though. What do you think about COVID, though? Do you think that was, like, all the conspiracy around it? You think it was, like, so, like, even, I mean, you agree that Biden pardoned Fauci? Or do you think that's false information?
I mean, I don't
Have
like
you
the
looked into any of
pardons.
that?
I don't like the pardons, but I understand them because they basically said, we don't care what you did, we're going to go after you and bring lawsuits. And the Trump DOJ is kind of proving that now. Threatening AOC with a lawsuit for telling people threatening AOC with a case for telling people their constitutional rights and dealing with ICE. Like, they're just going after their political opponents, like, directly, and they made it very clear. But Fauci did not. Whenever they asked, like, what law did Fauci break, they can't say a law. But they did say we're going to go after Fauci. So I understand the rationale behind it. I don't like the pardon powers being used in that way. But everything that's happening right now politically kind of breaks the Constitution and breaks the system, so it kind of sucks.
So, but what do you think about COVID? Like, do you think that was a virus produced by the Chinese and Fauci was part of it and it was, like, intentionally created?
I don't think it was intentionally created.
Have you looked into that?
If it was intentionally created, I think they would have done a much better job containing it within these countries that it supposedly came from. I mean, could it be a leak? Could it be from a wet market? It could be from a lot of different things. I know the CIA now, once Trump took over, they said it was a lab leak, but they also said with extremely low confidence. So that might have just been like for the base to be happy. It could be. I don't know the information around it. I just know the vaccines were. There's no proof the vaccines cause vaccine injuries. People believe that they alter DNA. That's not true. People believe there's mercury in the vaccines. That's also not true. The mRNA vaccines, I have not seen any actual medical proof of any adverse effects that are not tied to COVID itself. And all the vaccine skepticism in America right now, especially the fact that polio vaccinations and measles vaccinations are down so much right now, and there's outbreaks now happening for the first time in like 5 years when we finally got measles out of here, and the child vaccination rate is dropping down below our threshold for what we need to maintain herd immunity for these different diseases. It seems like we're just having anti-vaxxer movements in general. They blame the COVID vaccine, but there's a reason why now the polio vaccine, which is probably one of mankind's greatest inventions, is now being put back into question. Is because this entire anti-vax movement is coming in a wave with the COVID and with the podcasts. Definitely Joe Rogan, RFK. I don't know about the origins. I mean, it could be a lot of things. I'm pretty sure like the lab leak, the wet lab and all that, or the wet market, all that kind of stuff. As far as confidence goes, they're all pretty equal in terms of confidence. I think the wet market is still a little bit higher than the lab leak when it comes to like the actual research, but yeah, it's hard to say.
It's really hard to say. A lot of that too, like there's some, I mean, if you go down the rabbit hole, there's a lot of like, I think just at least maybe it's pseudoscience or whatever, but studies that link, vaccinations to this rise in autism. I mean, you could say it's all fake, but I mean,
so the person that wrote
It's
the
hard.
original study actually was a fraudster. He lost his medical license, then he sold like a fraud drug or whatever, and he had to make money somehow. So he started the anti-vax movement, and it was parents that were ashamed that their parents had autism, and they thought it was something wrong with them, so they had to blame the vaccines. It was correlation, not causation. But that has been thoroughly debunked. That's probably one of the most debunked scientific claims of all time, or medical claims of all time, is that vaccines cause autism. The reason autism rates have went up is because the window or the scope of what is included in the autism spectrum is just expanded. And now the mechanisms are a lot more like keen, and parents are now looking for it at a much younger age. And the diagnoses are, there's a lot more people diagnosing it in general, but there is zero evidence at all of vaccines causing autism. There's a whole documentary about the guy who spread it initially in the UK and why he spread it. I forgot the name of it. Someone in chat might know that. I appreciate you calling him.
Yeah.
I call it a
it
nice
was good
hit the
talking to
2
you.
a.m. mark. Appreciate all the callers tonight. Hope to see you around the channel. Like I said, we have a Discord, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Have a good night, man. All right, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for joining the channel. I'm going to drop the Discord links. I'm too tired to say goodbye multiple times tonight. I know I don't need to do that, but I usually do. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. We had the highest single viewer number. Thank you for chat. Thank you for all the super chats, the donations. Thank you for all the recommendations on topics in chat as I'm talking. It does help when I'm talking for this long to have you say different sources or ideas on what to add to the conversation. I look at the green names more than anything. If you're a channel member, he's just listing all the talking points he never bothered to look into. Why kick now, though? I mean, that's someone that we need to talk to, right? Do you want that person to go talk to Joe Rogan instead, or RFK? We want to talk to that person, right? That's the voter we need to move, guys. Don't forget the actual pragmatism in what we're doing here. These, like, middle of the road, I watch podcasts and get my information from there. Like, we need to be welcoming to them. I need to take time out to talk to them. It doesn't matter if it's good content for you assholes. Screw you guys. You don't care about the pragmatism. You care about the frickin' product. I always knew you guys were selfish. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm tired. Okay, Discord links. I did never watch the Roger Stone deposition, actually. I might have to check that out then. Here's Discord. I'm going to hop in Discord and hang out for a little bit in the community hangout. Here's the Discord, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, Fauci came during the Reagan administration, bro. During the Reagan. Thank you, Vandroid. The Trump ones are rough. But, like, yeah, it's a... And also, at the end, let me think. My highest viewership did come during the reactions, though. My highest viewership did come during the reaction segment on the Elon Musk, Sean Hannity interview. That's why I started yelling at the chat about child predators. At least that was more entertaining than watching Pisco debate Rob Noir for 5 hours yesterday. Did you watch that whole thing? I checked in for like a minute, and I'm like, why is he still debating at 3 a.m.? Thanks me for keeping a tight ship. Yeah, Cam. Well, I think Kyle's in the other chat modding. Yeah, Kyle's in the other chat. Yeah, saying that Jolah is funded by the deep state. Stop spamming. The paper linking MMR to autism has retracted, printed on every single page. I got most of the recent COVID vaccines. I got one COVID with no symptoms. My wife and daughter were not on dates and got wrecked twice. So MMR is being treated. Yeah. Journals on polio. Well, no, RFK made a lot of money. Oh, we need one more view in the stream for 150,000 views. Wait 1 second. I'm going to wait till 150,000 before getting off. You tried the call? Well, like I said, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of people calling. If you want to guarantee a call, like I always say, donate to Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo with your first name and your phone number and $10. That's always the rule. You know that. If you guys are watching, you have any extra dollars in your hand. Jolah Politics, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Thank you for all the support. Hey Barbara, go on my website and buy one of my bumper stickers. I'll post them tomorrow. All right, there's the Discord. How did the poll do? Is Trump a Russian asset? 34% yes, 66% no. 3,000 votes. Okay, we got 150,000. Okay. Nice. Oxy. I love Oxy. You were multitasking? It was painful. You saw them. You saw the bumper stickers. Nice. I'm adding more. The other bumper sticker I'm adding to the shop is gonna be guns. Here, wait, this one. Where's it at? I can't sell the Epstein one because they won't they won't sell that. But this is another one I'm gonna sell. It says God, guns, and tax the rich. This is my next design. This is gonna be releasing. No one bought it, but thank you again for the member. Thank you again for the member chat. For the membership. 3. Thank you. I need some sun. I don't need sun. It's literally just the screen, idiot. I don't mean to call you an idiot. I don't want to call you an idiot, but I'm a very tan person. I am losing my tan because it's the winter and I don't go outside anymore. But it's also, I'm right next to my computer screen because I don't have a real setup. I do not have a real setup or a real camera. So my webcam is right here, okay? I'm touching my webcam. My face is right here. The screen's right there. The white and blue lights are reflecting off of my face, making me look more pale. And the color balance is off because it changes. If I have a dark screen in front of me, it'll be okay. Like, this will be a dark screen. But if I have like if I go to a white screen in front of me, then look what happens to that. Look at that white screen. Wow. Dark screen. White screen. Dark screen. Wow. Eugene, I'm about to block you. I'm about to block you, dude. About to block you, bro. You'll buy that sticker? Hey man, I'm selling a couple of them. They'll be up tomorrow. The other sticker. Well, actually, I could put the shop in there real quick. It's a very small shop, but. Here we go. Here's the Jolah Politics shop. There's two stickers here. Epoch. Epoch is my favorite white viewer. Well, the 2 stickers available are on the website I just posted. So those are the 2 stickers available. Those are the 2 stickers that are available right now. One says did you Google tariffs yet? Why can I not make this bigger? Can I? One says, did you Google tariffs yet? Nice, simple. It's all free shipping too. Someone complained about the shipping, but after the production cost, print, the shipping, and the credit card transaction fee that I pay, I make like $3 off these. So this is all free shipping for $15. And then this one I like a lot. I might get this one. Protect the Constitution. America has no king. Liberty and justice for all. There's a vinyl sticker and there's a car magnet too. They're both $15. The shipping says 2 to 3 days. But those are the only two. Those are the only two products on there right now. I'm gonna go to a different storefront. This is my like trial run. But if you do like those, buy them as a donation. Yeah, the Protect the Constitution is nice. Yeah. That's my favorite one, I think, overall. That's my favorite one. No gods, no kings. America has no king. Protect the Constitution. Liberty and justice for all, man. Yeah, there's the shops. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. See you guys in Discord. Yeah, Tiffany, if you like it, go buy it. Go buy it before it's out. It's not going to be out, but go buy it. It's also considered a donation for the channel too, remember, when you buy it. It is a donation for the channel, and you get a bumper sticker. So, if you need help with merch, just ask. Hey, if you have any ideas, these ones are good. These ones are good. I like these ones a lot, actually. I mean, it's easy to design, just like, it's easy to just put font on a. It's obviously easy to put font on a freaking sticker. But I still think I have good colors and all that kind of stuff. The American flag and going off of the Trump and Kamala colors and all that kind of crap. America, protect the Constitution. America has no king. Liberty and justice for all. See, like, I could see this on someone's car. I could see it. I can see it. Constitution. The other one's a little lacking, but I kind of like the basic look too. But not for $15. Gotta be professional. Did you Google tariffs yet? See, this would be funny to have on the back of your car, bro. It's so basic. Did you Google tariffs? I should put Jolah on it. I should put Watch Jolah. It's hard to read the red color. You think so? I'm not changing the other one. I like the other one too much. This one I need to fit. I mean, this one I could change up. You really think the red will be hard to see? What if I do a whatever? Like, I'm more than happy with this one though. Trick color. I'm more than happy with this one. I mean, it might not show up. Maybe a brighter red. If you give me a red code for the top one that could be visible, then let me know. I think this is good though, but the blue and the white are definitely good. Thank you, thank you. Change the background color, but the background color has the Trump look to it. It's like reclaiming the Trump American flag colors. Tiffany, welcome to support tier. Thank you, Tiffany, for becoming a channel member. Tiffany's now green in the chat. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany. It also would help to see one of these in person, because it's going to print differently from this. It's not going to look exactly like this, because it looks different in my... It looks different in my editing app. I have a different printing mode on here that the blue is darker than it looks in this picture. This is just the mock-up. But I need to get like I need to get the actual product in hand to see how it looks. But if anyone buys one of these, I'll send you the final version of it, obviously. Yeah, a little bit darker, like the Trump sign. I actually took the color. I just swapped it from the I took a Trump campaign sign and I just took the color, whatever color it said it was, and I made it that color, the Trump whatever. Thank you, Tiffany. All right, guys, that's it for me. This 99-cent sticker was $15. Flip the blues? No. Flipping the blues would be gross. Ew. No, flipping the blues would be disgusting. That would not be American looking at all. No way. And by the way, a vinyl sticker or a vinyl magnet for the car that's 11 inches by 3 inches is a decent quality one for $15. Especially if it's like a merch for donating to a creator is not bad at all. For free shipping. Free shipping. This size vinyl is not a bad price, $15 for free shipping for merch. You know it's not a bad price. Chill. All right, peace out, peace out, peace out. Wait, what? No, I'm paid on. Someone said they paid on Venmo to call in, but I do not. I'm sorry, bro. I don't have anything on Venmo for your. I'm trying to look for it. Someone said they paid on Venmo to call in. I swear to God, I don't see a message. The last message I got was February 16th for Venmo. Like unironically, it was, yeah. Am I missing something? Well, sorry, brother. If you did, I don't see it. There was no money added to my account. Did you refund it? I'm confused right now, bro. You must have refunded it because I don't see it nowhere. Yeah, you refunded it. All right, thank you, member. Yep, see you, Tiffany. See you, Epoch. A little bit darker, a little bit darker. All right, guys. See you. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. See you. The waffles. No, the waffles will wait till tomorrow.